like taking a dump. You just like flush everything down the toilet. You know?
Yo, I got in trouble for that yesterday. Taylor walked in like
Taking a dump or flushing?
No, I was in the shower and I had a.
You took a shit in the shower?
No, I shit right.
Waffle stomping shit.
It actually sucked. I started showering, and then I went. I'm like, fuck, I got to shit, which is like almost as bad as getting out of the shower and then having to shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll pause my shower, turn the shower
sliding all over the toilet.
Yes, it's the worst.
No, it's the worst when you go to fucking wipe and just all the toilet paper just like disintegrate. It's like, oh my god, you have to like you have to load it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are with me on the fact you have to load it up.
Yeah, of course.
So I finished my business. I flushed, jumped back in the shower. Taylor walks in to like take a piss. She's like, "Oh, clogging the bowl, goo!" And then she goes, "How much toilet paper do you use?" And I was like, my butt was dirty. She's like, "You're a fucking noob. You gotta fucking flush it. You can't put that much in there at once." I'm like, "Dude, it's gonna go down." And she flushed it and went right down.
She is right.
Just
though.
be like, "Listen, I know a plumber."
If you let it sit, it's gonna fucking like disintegrate on its own anyway.
Yeah, but that's letting it sit for a couple hours, dude.
No, like once the water gets into it, it's significantly weaker than it would if you drop a roll of toilet paper in the toilet and try to flush it. It's not going to go down. But if you leave it there for like an hour, you'll have a better shot.
Yeah, I know, but like
the cardboard's probably not going to go down.
Listen, I mean, I get where she's coming from though, because like a courtesy flush is like a power move.
I thought that was just for like the stink.
I just did that now.
That is. It is.
I just did that now.
Yeah, I knew you were fucking doing something back there.
Yeah. No, it is. The courtesy flush is strictly for the smell. It's to, not knock somebody's shoes off when they walk into the bathroom after you.
But people don't give a fuck when you're in these public bathrooms. Like when I was at the gym, like you hear grunts and like noises. Like
the worst.
I'm trying to like not even like make a fart. Like I'm pushing so gently and trying to gauge it if there's like any gas in there or anything.
We talked about this with Sean.
And
yeah, we did.
Like, oh.
There's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than having to use the bathroom in a public restroom.
Yeah.
And it's like a one-person bathroom.
Dude, the first couple of years.
We went to the beach yesterday, and Bree's like, "Oh, I have to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Oh, so do I." And then it was cloudy and shit, so we're just like, "All right, let's just leave." So we're leaving, and we hit the porta potty on the way out.
Oh, that's gross.
Dude.
It's hot.
Bree, like the door was open, so she looks in. She's like, "Nah, I'm not doing it."
Bro,
and sometimes the girls' bathrooms and the girls' porta potties are worse than the dudes.
Yo, I don't know who does it because like
who shits in the urinal.
No, yeah, that's hilarious.
I've never seen that.
No, but like, listen, I feel so bad for like women because like they put urinals in those porta potties. Like I don't know why there's ever piss on the seat or anything in the porta potties when they have a fucking urinal thing right there.
Oh,
like,
okay.
there should never be a drop of piss on that seat.
No, absolutely not. We have some foremen that get like the royalty treatment when they do jobs at my company. And
they get a lock on the door there?
No, they get a porta potty. We don't get a lot of jobs. You don't get porta potties. You got to shit in a bucket.
Yeah, that's right.
That's basically what it is. We call it the commode. But this one kid goes to use the porta potty. There's a urinal in the porta potty, and the foreman goes in after him, and he's flipping out because the kid pissed all over the toilet seat. And for starters, like,
who it was, yeah,
you know who it is because he was in there before you. But like, how do you even like as an adult? How do you piss all over a toilet seat?
Yeah. Unless you just got done jerking off.
Yeah, and clean it up.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, that's different. But still, like, you're out at work.
Yeah.
There's no reason unless your stream is...
And there was no urinal in there. This was just the one with just
maybe he's got a...
No, there was a urinal.
See, that's inexcusable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's definitely inexcusable because there's a spot for you to piss.
Maybe he's got a deviated penis.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what piercing?
What goes on? What goes on, dude?
Yeah,
Prince Albert.
But I don't know how you could possibly walk out of there. Like when I'm in here, like there's a single bathroom, so like men and women both use it.
Yeah, I always wipe.
So I make sure, even if it wasn't mine.
I know.
I don't want like
exactly.
If Bree's behind me, I don't know who the fuck's behind me. If it's like Bree, if it's Alexa, if it's Lisa, I don't want to think that like I thought that was okay.
She's like Terrence is fucking dirty.
Exactly. I've done that too, dude. There's been like a million times. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I'm wiping.
Yeah, because it's a courtesy to the people that you're with.
Yeah.
You wipe your hands. It's not like the piss is getting on your hands, and it's like the right thing to do. I want to walk in with it clean.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I get pissed though. Like that was like a thing for a little while here. I felt like it was
there was piss all over the seat every time I walked in.
Yeah, it was a reoccurring thing.
Sometimes
bro.
it's like
these fucking retards can't like piss in the.
I mean, the fucking bowl is 8 inches in diameter. Like, come on, how much of a bigger target do you need?
Or you just fucking lift the seat up.
Yeah.
How about
That's
that?
another thing. Yeah.
I do that all the time, and then Bree gets pissed that I don't put it down.
I know.
She falls in.
She almost fell in the other.
Dude,
So
but
funny.
I don't get that with girls,
How do you not see
though.
that? Like you're looking at it when you walk in. Would you just walk into the bathroom backwards and
I don't
backpedal to the
yeah,
toilet?
exactly. Like you're a big back truck just backing into a spot. Like you're not looking.
Bro, she did that the other night. She like comes in. It was like middle of the night. And she's like, "You didn't fucking put the seat down." And I'm like, "Open your fucking eyes."
No, maybe she didn't put the light on the bathroom because like she was
didn't.
like trying to stay asleep.
she
What, all by feel?
I
Like you
don't-
just all by feel in this?
I don't have a hard time.
Like, say, I don't get that, though. Like, they're mad if you don't lift the seat, and they're mad if you don't put it down. It's like, all right, so you got to pick your battles here. Like,
Yeah.
which one would you rather? Would you rather me leave the seat down
With piss on
and
it?
potentially piss on it? Or would you
No,
rather
you
me
gotta
lift
wipe. You gotta leave it clean. But I listen. I fucking lift the seat and like wipe every time.
You wipe the bowl.
Well, you're
the
just
base of the
perfect.
bowl. I have
Terry
to.
G.
No, I just have to. That's why there was like that whole. You guys ever heard that shit about like when those people were supposed to move into my apartment?
Homeless
No.
people?
No, there was friends of ours,
Oh yeah.
and they were supposed to live in a basement apartment because the house came with a basement apartment. We weren't looking to rent it, but
Dude, you looking to rent?
they do. No, not at all. It's my dogs are killer, so that'd be like dangerous. Why, you're trying to move out?
Fuck yeah.
I'll talk to Taylor.
Oh, wait, your house now has a basement apartment?
It has a basement apartment, but like I would have to do something with the bathroom because I need like a sump pump or something. Like it backs up. Because I was trying to be courteous when we first moved in the house and just dropping my post work bombs downstairs every time, and dude, that was a horror show.
Yeah.
It all backed up into like the bathtub and shit. There was like, poo water in the bathtub down there.
Oh,
So
That's a Luigi call.
fucking
that's
yeah,
tough.
it was horrible. But anyway, so they were supposed to move in there, and they kind of like got way too comfortable way too early. They had like this whole like laundry list of demands, and this is at the time when I was working like literally 7 days a week.
yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, we're supposed to be in by this day." Yeah, fucking whack. And anyway, long story short, they set up like a TV, and like they said that they were just dropping things off, but they would stay for a couple hours, I guess, and like hang out while we weren't home. And like her sister heard them or whatever, and I came home and there was like a couple. You guys, I definitely told you the story. There was like,
Yeah, I've heard. Of it.
there was
I
a
don't think I heard this.
there was like a couple drops of piss on the fucking seat.
In the upstairs bathroom.
And I was the first, and I was like, whoa, like what the fuck were you doing up here type deal? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know it wasn't me because I wipe and I put the seat up every single time I
Yeah.
piss. It's just a fucking habit.
That's weird, dude. Yeah, that's why I would never rent. For that reason, I wouldn't want to share my space with somebody else.
I just don't want to hear people. Like
Exactly.
I come home,
I don't
like,
want.
I don't want to hear you arguing.
Well,
or
not even
fucking
that, but
talking
I don't
in the
want to.
corner,
I don't want to get out
laughing
of
at
my
your TV.
car in the driveway, and then you're getting out of the apartment, or vice versa, and then we have to have small talk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I don't want that. And like, yeah, like if you're my friend or close friend, that'd be great. We could bullshit.
I
You
feel
can
like
come
if your friend, it's
inside.
worse. You're better off not knowing the person at all because
No, but
if
then
you're
that-
kind
Well,
of
it depends
friends
who
with-
it is. I feel like.
No, if it was Remy, I wouldn't fucking care. But if it's someone who you're kind of friends with, and then it's like, oh, like we live in the same house, and now we're gonna do everything together. And it's
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
ah, dude,
we do
But
everything together anyway.
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's
It would,
true.
I'm saying it wouldn't fucking matter. But like, it wouldn't be like a forced hangout.
Yeah, I don't know. I still would have wanted to like share my space with somebody else. I'm not about that.
Taylor was so against it.
Yeah, of course I would too.
See, I feel the same way. Like, if it was someone who like I'm boys with and like we hang out regardless, like you know what I'm saying. Like you said, like if it was someone who I like don't see myself hanging out with, and then you gotta like fucking sit there and make small talk, like that'd be annoying.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like I don't know.
Dude, I had the weirdest.
I would just walk right by him.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you start to. You
Yeah.
start to just be like, give them the body signs,
Yeah.
the body language, being like, yeah, I'm not about this conversation right now. See you later.
I had the weirdest.
Or you just
landlord.
making it. You make a well. Obviously, it is what it is. But if you had the choice, you just make the fucking entrance on the other side. You know, where you're not gonna see them.
Yeah, but you might still just share a driveway. I mean,
They park in the street.
yeah, I guess that's true.
just wave.
But you don't have that leisure though. I mean, blowing out a fucking basement wall
Yeah,
to
I
put
know.
another entrance
I'm
in is
just
fucking.
I have an outside entrance.
Yeah, but if you didn't and you wanted to do that, that's dinero. That's coin, baby.
oh, that's Bitcoin. All
That's
the
guap.
excavation and
That's
concrete
money.
and everything. Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro, I got shovels. Start digging.
yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
luck.
I know, but then you have
Good
to,
luck.
dude, you have to get it approved and everything. You have to
Yeah.
wait. Like there's all like kinds of like ordinances.
Well,
and stuff.
legally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
90% of the fucking apartments on Long Island are
Are
illegal.
illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal anyway.
Yeah,
Dude, you
because
gotta
who
see
wants
my,
to do?
My
who-
neighbor has like a fucking ghetto
slum?
extension.
Oh,
Like it's literally the whole house is blue, and then he's got white, like a white extension. It's like, dude,
And that's where the apartment is.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
my old landlord was so fucking weird. He was like a really nice guy. He was probably like mid 40s, and he was a single guy. And I feel like anytime someone's calling
I
in.
guess that's D-Rock.
was he calling me?
Yeah. Your phone's connected to it.
Oh, it's my brother.
Oh, it's Connor. Pick it up.
Yeah, so apartments, dude.
Oh, so this dude, he was like, he was in his, I don't know, I'd say like mid 40s, single guy.
Take pictures.
He had to like
Nice.
make an effort to like talk about chicks every time we talked, I guess. So like I didn't think he was like gay or something. He'd be like, yeah, fucking was at the beach, so many chicks, bro. And I'd be like, all right, weirdo.
Did I ever tell you my poo story at the house with the waistline?
Yeah.
That was bad, dude.
When it's like, oh,
It's
Kevin.
going out. It's going out, dude. That was bad. Yeah, the septic tank fucking. I thought it was full, man. I'm glad that wasn't full. It was just the waistline got clogged. If that septic tank was full and it was overflowing, that would have been disgusting.
Bro, the stink is fucking nasty when that
the
shit starts
worst,
backing
bro.
up.
It would have been horrible. That's what I'm saying, man. Like owning a house is great. Having an apartment in there that you're renting out is 10 times worse. I'm definitely not about renting to tenants.
Yeah, I don't want to chase people down for money. I don't want to like fucking see you. And
Yeah,
my
now
one
with the
dog's
new, and now with
crazy.
the new squatters, they're like the squatter thing.
Yeah.
These guys have more rights than the homeowner.
Dude, our house upstate, we had 2 squatters. It took us like over a year to get them out.
That's why people, when they have retail properties, they'd rather rent a Section 8 because it's a guaranteed check on like the first of the month every single time.
Right.
You're taking less money than you would that if you rent it out to like a regular person, but
It's guaranteed.
it's guaranteed, and you
Yeah.
don't have to like chase people.
I
down for
heard
money.
You're
this.
getting paid from what? The state,
The
right?
state.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy because when I first heard that, I thought it was the craziest thing. It's like, no, you got to rent out to Section 8. And I'm like, dude. I'm
What?
like,
You would think
that's-
those people would just like shit all over it and everything.
Yeah, and like I'm like, you're gonna chase down your money, but you're right, Terrence. I've heard that
Yeah.
they're not.
I know someone who has a couple of Section 8s, and he said it's the best way to do it because he doesn't. First off, you buy a cheap house, you don't give a fuck what happens to it.
Yeah.
you
You
know?
still have to maintain it to a certain degree, though. Like
Yeah,
if there's some kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
leak or something.
Right.
Well, but
then-
I'm saying like you're not like sitting there like caring about like if they fuck up this or fuck up that. It's like,
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
Taylor's brother-in-law, who I guess is my brother-in-law too.
Yeah, that's how it works, bro. She is your wife.
So he
What's hers is yours, and what's yours is hers.
he had houses in like up in Albany. He got them crazy cheap.
Yeah.
One of them was like 50 grand, which is like pretty cheap. But
A
there-
house?
Yeah, but there was houses that he got for like 20 grand.
dude,
Damn.
we paid $35 for our 2 houses upstate.
That's insane.
Wait, so he bought this house? Is he renting it out, or is he?
Yeah, he rents them out to Section 8.
Wow.
You know what else is for years.
You know what else is another good move is
That's
college kids.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Growing up in Center Reach, we were close to Stony Brook,
Mm.
and sometimes we go over to the college and skate and like fuck around and shit. And like all the houses that are like nearby Stony Brook are rented out to college students.
Yeah,
That's smart.
it's a good move.
It is a good
And then
move.
you could go up there for a weekend, like you get in a fight with your wife or something. You just go up and party with college kids. Hey guys, I'm staying with you this
What
weekend.
movie was
Old
that?
School.
No, there was another movie where the
Oh,
neighbors were the frat house.
Neighbors, when they were fucking fighting, like Zac Efron and Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were like,
Could you
They were
imagine
at
that
war.
So
situation?
funny.
I would be so pissed,
living
bro.
next
Yeah.
door.
I had squatters at my first house in Patchogue. We literally moved in. The day that we were moving our shit in, the next door neighbor was moving out. And it turned out that the guy was like, he was a drug addict, unfortunately, going to like AA or whatever it is, or rehab, I should say. And his dad's like, hey, you guys want some power tools? And we're like, yeah, sure. So we just started handing over like chop saws, circular saws, like
Wow.
tables and like toolboxes, and just giving me a whole plethora
You
of
still
shit.
have that shit?
Yeah, I do actually.
It's fucking awesome.
It was great. So moving forward, it was like 2 years. I was there for like 5 years. So like 2 years, 3 years into living in the new house, the next door was vacant the entire time. So it was great for the kids. They would like go over there and like they
Throw
play.
parties.
No, they would just play on the
Oh.
property. I mean, they were 10, so it was just like they had like a house to themselves. Of course,
Oh,
not going in.
It would
Just
be
to-
awesome if they could go in. Imagine like you just like playing
Yeah.
house and like just an empty fucking house as a kid.
So they just legit like just would play on the property. They'd play like lacrosse games. Like, they would do whatever they want. They played in the driveway and shit. And like our houses were mad close. So I always used to cut my grass, and then since no one lived next door, I would blow all my leaves and
Into
grass
the-
clippings next door. Because
I thought you were gonna say because no one lived next door, I would cut their grass too. So it was
no.
nice.
Well, the bank came and had a landscape crew that would do that. So they would just suck up all the shit I blew next door.
Right.
So one day, I'm blowing all my shit over there. I have to cut my grass, and these 2 girls come out of the house, and I'm like, fuck. and she's like, how are you? I'm your new neighbor. And I'm like, damn, I got the leaf blower still blowing and like leaves like blowing past them and shit. I'm like in awe. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I just got busted, bro. So I like introduce myself. They're like, yeah, we're your new neighbors, this and the third. So they bounce. I call up Lisa and I'm like, yo, we got some new neighbors. And she's like, the fuck we do? And I'm like, what? She's like, that house was never put up for rent, never put up for sale. She's like, they're squatters. I'm like, how do you know? She's like, I know. I'm like, damn. So we wound up like watching these people for like the next couple of days, and like they would literally come at 6 o'clock in the morning. They'd come at 6 o'clock at night. They would leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was just the weirdest thing. So we wound up
sleeping there.
Yeah, and we wound up calling the town and the village, and they fucking came down like SWAT, bro. We had like 4 cop cars, 4 public safety cars, and they wound up questioning these 2 girls, and their response was, we gave money to somebody off of Craigslist. Yeah, we don't have a receipt. We don't have a phone number. We don't have a name. And they're like, really? They're like, you're gonna give a deposit for a house with no name, no contact number, no nothing?
Well, they were like rookies. There's professionals that they draw up fake lease agreements and fucking everything, and it's impossible to get them out. My dude, it's crazy how long you can stay in your house without paying. Like people like worry about like being like a month behind on their mortgage or a couple weeks behind, like freaking out. We were just talking about this the other day. A guy I know, a friend of mine, he's a good guy, but he's in recovery now. He went like 4 or 5 years straight. I think it was 52 months. Yeah, so like almost 4.5 years without making a payment.
Wait, he was a squatter?
Well, he owned the house. You know what I'm saying? He stopped paying his mortgage for 52 months.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't kicked out.
Well, that's what people were saying during COVID. They were like, they're like, pay all your bills, and then they're like, fuck your mortgage. Like, you're not going to get kicked out right away.
Yeah.
They're like, pay all your other bills first and then pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Like, that's the last thing you should pay.
You were able to defer it, but it's like you defer it, like, so you can't pay your mortgage this month because COVID bills, whatever.
Right.
So you could defer it for, like, say 3 months, but then on the 3rd month, like, 3 payments were due. It's like, motherfucker, if I didn't have the payment, like, 1 month at a time, what makes you think I'm going to be sitting on, like, $6,000 right now?
Well, that was the thing. Everybody's like, oh, I don't got to pay my mortgage. I can just put it on the back end of my loan.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
That's what they did.
No, but they want it in full, though. So if you don't pay for 3 months,
right, they wanted the 3 months total.
Yes. Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense, because like you said, it's like, if I didn't have it for 1 month, what the fuck makes you think I'm going to have 3 months?
Because it's all a game.
Yeah.
It's all a game.
But I heard auto loans were just pushing your loan out. So, like, if your loan was over in, like, April of 2025,
it would just be
you didn't pay for 3 months, it'd be over in July of 2025.
Correct. And that's what they should have done with the mortgage.
That's helping people.
Yeah.
Right. But the banks don't give a shit about you, man. Yeah. Like, they're all out to get you. It's all a fucking game.
It wasn't that I didn't have the money, but, like, I was just, like, I thought I usually pay my mortgage early. Like, I'll randomly pay, like, in June for July or whatever. And, so they hit me with like a late fee because I forgot to pay it. And it was like, 2 weeks into the month, it's due on the 1st. So they hit me with like some kind of bullshit late fee. I don't know what it wasn't expensive. Maybe it was like $100 or $150. And I was like, dude, I'm not paying a fucking late fee. People haven't been paying their mortgages at all. I'm like ahead on my mortgage because I put like extra principal towards and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're out of your mind. So like every month I just pay my mortgage, and like that late fee is just like chilling there.
Yeah, people don't get that either. Like I tell people, like if you could pay one full mortgage payment a year, like extra.
Oh, it chops like years off your mortgage.
Right. And people say, oh, so then if I pay one mortgage payment, so I pay my mortgage, right? Or every month I pay that, it's equivalent to one mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
Because it equals like whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you can take that and you can pay it once a year. So you pay your regular monthly fee or mortgage, and then you just take whatever it is and you just pay one extra. It doesn't take 7 years off the loan. It's equivalent to paying 7 years. Because all of that money is not taxed. It goes right to the principal.
Yeah, right to the principal. And you're not putting it towards the interest.
Right. And people don't understand that.
You could put an extra, when you pay your mortgage, like when I pull my thing up, I could put additional principal or additional interest. So like if Nick's like saying put like an extra payment, so like say your payment is like $2,400, an extra $2,400, that could also be an extra $200 a month, which is like more manageable than like having to save up $2,400 to put towards it. If you just, kind of
pay extra like, each month,
like chip away.
Yeah,
at it.
because if you pay 12 payments of $2,400 a year, right? That's your mortgage,
right?
And you make an extra one, you make 13. That extra $2,400 doesn't get divided up into tax or interest or anything else. It goes straight to the principal. People don't understand
so
that.
You're chipping away at the bottom
right,
buyout number.
Yes, and that one whole payment is equivalent to a couple of years of paying your 12 months a year. It's people don't realize that, but if you can pay extra, it's so worth it.
Yeah,
100% so worth it.
Yeah, to scratch up like an extra like $200 or whatever a month.
Yeah.
But you could also change your mortgage. So instead of paying like 12 payments like a year, so like once a month, you could change it to every 2 weeks you pay. And in turn, since there's like 52 weeks in the year, you pay an extra month that way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just a different breakdown.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about those fights last night?
Oh, our mortgages are due today, Nick. We should pay them.
My shit comes out automatically, baby.
Does it?
I thought the Uriah Hall, right?
Yeah,
Trash.
right.
Yo,
Terrible
I know,
fight.
but he won. He won. Was
He
it
won?
Yeah, I think it was like a 50-45 decision. He won every round 10-9.
50-45.
It was a 10-9 the whole way through.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
unanimous
Wait,
decision.
Uriah Hall won.
No. The other guy did.
Oh, Strickland.
Yeah, Strickland. He looked
I was gonna
solid.
say he got like a couple takedowns and. It
Yeah, that was a lackluster of a fight, man.
I missed this fight, but this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. The female fighter, Cheyenne Buys. She got the fight of the night bonus. Bro, so sad. She gets 10 to show, 10 to win.
Yeah.
And she won, and she already owed, I guess, $15,000 for like her camp. So like that, her and her husband.
Was she the one that came 7 pounds overweight?
No.
Oh, okay.
7 pounds over.
Yeah, there was a fighter on that card last night that was 7 pounds overweight.
Why even show up?
Right. Like, you're 7 pounds over. Like,
It's like, oh man, my scale at home was on.
yeah, dude. Like, you know going into that fight that you're not making weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost like a slap to the sport that like you're not.
right.
That's some Pat Valson shit right there.
Oh man, dude, that was tough, bro. Can't be saying his name like that, dude.
Oh man, I mean.
So wait, what were you saying
Slim
about this
P.
girl now?
So this girl, she already
Slim
owed
P.
$15,000. She was getting $20,000 total, like
Yeah.
if she won the fight. She won, and then they were talking to her after, and she was talking about like how her and her husband moved, and like she was all right with basically like breaking even on the fight, like as long as she won, like it's what she wanted to do because it's her dream. She basically like gambled on herself, and she ended up getting fight of the night bonus $50,000, and she like broke down in tears like when she found out that she got fight of the night. She was
Wow.
like, "I'm so broke. Like
Yeah.
I know I have to put this money away, but like."
Isn't it
pretty-
crazy? You're hearing these stories, and these people are professional athletes.
And they're broke.
People are buying tickets to see these people fight, and this woman is broke
Yeah.
and is breaking down in tears because not only did she win a fight, but she got a bonus, and she's walking away with $50,000.
Right.
It's like Dana White, the whole organization should reassess and reevaluate what they're doing, and maybe think about paying these people a little bit more.
Yep.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because it's like you're there for them.
Yeah.
No other reason.
No other reason.
You know, so it's like, why aren't they like they should be getting paid the most?
100%.
You know,
Yeah, I don't think you should be living like in poverty if you're a professional.
Yeah,
athlete.
a professional
especially at like the
athlete.
highest
Right.
level.
And not only that, so like, okay, like there are professional sports out there that have no following, no buzz behind them. Like curling, lacrosse, men's professional lacrosse. These guys make probably like 10 to 12,000 a season. That's
Right.
it. You can't live on that, but I get it because lacrosse isn't as mainstream and as popular.
Right.
But the UFC and mixed
It's
martial arts,
popular as
Yeah.
fuck.
yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. Like you look at Conor McGregor getting paid millions to fight now. It's like this woman shouldn't be crying because she has a fucking bonus of $50,000 and now she could pay her bills.
I would say like the MMA in general like is becoming one of the more popular sports.
It is.
You know?
It's definitely blown past boxing.
Oh yeah, way past boxing.
Yeah, people aren't watching. Boxing fans are like, and they're going straight over to MMA, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nobody watches boxing.
They have to get more fighters from like other countries, which they are growing in that sense. But like I think that's why boxing's so big because like,
It's international.
and, like
Yeah.
like Mexico and stuff. Like the whole
Worldwide.
country is behind these people. Like
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao, everyone in the Philippines is watching his
yeah,
fights.
no, I agree with you. That's a big reason why these guys get paid out the way they do. 100%. 100%. But it's sad, man. It's sad to hear stories like that.
Yeah, that someone's struggling. I mean, it was like, I'm happy for her, but it sucks that she like, I mean, her job's got to be so stressful. On top of like training to like compete at the highest level, you have to worry about like if you're gonna be able to fucking eat.
Yeah, dude. And like, I mean, like a professional fighter shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? I
the
can
camps are
understand.
expensive. And then Eric was talking about how like the McGregors and like maybe not Khabib because Khabib's like kind of like on his own, but like when they have someone that's marketable, he says like Sean O'Malley's an example. Like he's not even ranked top 15, but however he's like their prize pony. So like they'll fly in like the 5 best. Like if he's fighting a southpaw, they'll fly in the best like 5 that are like exactly his size and like give him like the looks. Like you're at such an advantage. Whereas like he said like when Ryan LaFleur was training, it was basically like whoever was around. Like he couldn't afford to fly in fighters to pay them to be like part of the camp and everything.
I know it's a lot of money, dude. It all adds up, but it's still sad to hear that story, though. You know, that's why I kind of hate I hate that like the UFC is like a monopoly. You know, like who's the other big show out there? You know, like you really don't have competitors that could compete with the UFC.
I know, but that kid came in against Sean O'Malley, like that was last weekend or the weekend before, and that was pretty crazy to see.
Yeah,
Like he took the fight on no notice, and he's like fighting in the fucking UFC.
he got beat.
Yeah.
He got
I'm like a
beat
smart
up
boy.
though.
Yeah, but he hung in there. He didn't get knocked out.
No.
I mean, it was a rest stoppage.
yeah, but he
He
beat
got
up.
fight of the night bonus too, though.
He did. I know. But he was beat up. Did you see him like eating his ice cream after the
Yeah.
fight? His face was beat,
Yeah.
dude. It was bad.
But you got to be tough, man.
Yeah, of course. That sport. There's no
Definitely.
there's no part-time trainers.
Nah.
Everything was landing.
Yeah, you can't train part-time and be a full-time fighter in that.
Nah.
MMA is like one of those unforgiving sports, you know. But that fight was a lackluster though, man.
It
Last
was
night.
terrible. Terrible.
Horrible. I feel like they're just bringing way too many people in the door, you know, and they're just filling cards up with people. And
Yep.
it's like there's real no stars established right now. I mean, like you still have like the guys that we all know, but like there's so many new guys coming in. It's hard for them to like really establish themselves in the game.
So what did you think was so boring about that fight that no one got?
What do you mean? That it was fucking boring.
I felt like they both weren't putting it on the line. And we talked about this before on the podcast that like you're a professional athlete, you're also an entertainer, but you also care about your record.
So like a Woodley thing.
Kind of like a Woodley thing where
Yeah.
like Woodley like didn't really put it on the line because he cared about his record. Yeah, like I would probably be the same way, but
But at the same time, if you look at all of the greats, they all have losses,
yeah, of course.
you know, because they were at one point willing to put it on the line,
Yeah.
you know.
And those guys, it's funny that you say that too, because I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with who the hell was it? Maybe Danaher, and he was saying that like the reason why they're coming up with these tournament rules is to create more action, right? But you look at some of the legends like Marcelo Garcia and people like that, like they have plenty of losses and they still go down the books as legends.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like the same thing like these UFC fighters got to think. It's like, yeah, your record's important, but you know,
But your show is more important.
correct.
You know.
Yeah, go out there losing because you're trying to win the fight. Don't go out there.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But you get cut if you lose, like pretty straight.
That's the other. That's the other.
unless you're a fucking Cowboy
Right. That's the other thing.
or someone like a huge
Well,
someone who's a
but
huge
exactly
fan
like
favorite
Cowboy
draw.
who goes out there and puts a show on.
Yeah.
And whether he loses or wins, he still has his
That's
spot.
that's why people love
And then
him.
I think that's what like John Danaher was saying. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, go out there, give it your all, go for the win, go for the sub, and even if you lose, you know, people are gonna watch you because of like your excitement. You know, they're not gonna watch you because of your record.
Yeah.
You know, some of these MMA fighters got to realize that, but
See-
still, it's hard to do that.
Cody Garbrandt realizes that.
Dude, Cody throws bombs, bro. He's a monster. I give that dude a lot of respect.
For just going in there and throwing haymakers.
Well, I gave him a lot of respect when he won the belt. I think he beat Dominic Cruz, and he brought that kid in.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and didn't even put the belt on right away. Like, Dana White went to put the belt around him, and he was like, nah, my homie gets it first. And the kid actually got strapped up before Cody did.
That's crazy.
That's dope,
Yeah,
man.
he's been with that kid too, like throughout his whole career. I don't know if this is. Can you hear me?
it's on
Yeah,
you just have to
perfect.
speak into
Just
it.
got to speak into
Yeah,
it.
no, but that's like something too. Like he's had that kid throughout all his fights, so it's not like it was like, oh, like he knew he was fighting for the title. Let me, like bring this kid on to make myself look like a good guy. You
Yeah.
know, like it's cool if you look back, you see like that kid's been in the stands for all his fights, so it's cool to see like
Speak into the mic.
eventually he got
Perfect.
to
Yeah, that's where you wanna
know,
be.
get the belt and everything.
Yeah, and you got to respect somebody like that because, like, I don't know, I feel like that's dope. Like, you can respect somebody in the cage, but when you can respect them outside the cage, like something like that really wins me over as a fan.
Yeah,
You know, and you're right, that kid was there from like day one.
yeah.
So it was definitely cool. Made me open my eyes to him.
Everyone, we have a guest, Connor over here,
Fuck yeah,
What's up?
dude.
CEO of Transcend.
How's that going?
It's going good, man. Yeah, it's going good. We're trying to work on some like new stuff right now. We want to make like some like t-shirts, maybe some hoodies, just because we've had a lot of people who like maybe don't train that hit us up, want to support. So it's like fuck, like they're not gonna buy rash guards or like training shorts.
Correct.
So we're like trying to come up with some other stuff too that we could do, so like other people could support it, and then get back into the rash guards, shorts.
Yeah.
Hopefully geese too. We want to do geese.
Dope.
That'd be
What
dope.
what made you guys start creating this company? I mean, so both you and Eddie are basically like the CEOs, right?
Yeah. So it's me and Eddie. So it's like something I'm sure we've always mentioned. Like every once in a while, we bring it up. Like, oh, that'd be a cool idea to make our own stuff. And then one day Eddie just like brought it up. He's like, yo, like I think we should just do this. And we were talking a lot about how like all the brands now, if you go on and you try and buy a pair of shorts or a rash guard, it's like you're paying at least fucking 50, 60, 70, even $70 for a rash guard or shorts.
I know.
It's like, that's
shorts,
insane.
dude. Yeah.
It's insane. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially RVCA.
yeah, you know, and like a lot of stuff doesn't even last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all the same stuff. People getting it from the same place. So it's like, we thought about it, but like, dude, we can make shit that we actually like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And sell it for a reasonable price. You know what I mean? So we were like, fuck it, let's do it. And then as soon as we just like decided on it that we were gonna do it, we just kind of like right away started getting to it, looking for people to like manufacture stuff like that. Just coming up with ideas. So it kind of just took off from there, and then we just started.
Where can people order the shit?
You can find us on Instagram at TranscendBJJ. We have links to like you could buy straight from Instagram. We have our stuff products tagged, or you can go to our website transcendbjj.com.
Nice.
So either one of those, or Facebook too.
You guys thinking about doing some like merch booths at like fights and tournaments?
Yeah. So we definitely thought about that. We're just. You know, we want to get more stuff right now, like, you know, once we have T-shirts and stuff, because, like, you know, it's hard to go. Right now we only have we have the rash guards, we have short and long sleeve shorts, and, like, we just made decals. But, you know, in order for us to do, like, booths and stuff, we'd want to have, like, a good amount of products.
Good selection.
So eventually, yeah, that's something we've definitely thought of, like, you know, doing booths, sponsoring, like, athletes is another thing. We've already had a good amount of people, like, message us for like sponsorships and stuff.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah, so we're definitely thinking about all that stuff. Just making it.
You want to sponsor Jits and Tits?
He was talking about his sponsorships, kid. Yeah, that's awesome though.
Oh, hoodies would be dope because I see like Albino and Prado. They have dope hoodies.
Albino?
What is it?
Albino?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, and that's like a perfect example.
Albino.
Like,
I should have just said
them,
A&P.
Like Show Your Roll, those are like all companies that like I've always liked. I've always worn their stuff. I still have some of their stuff, but it's like, dude, like
too expensive.
The hoodie's $80.
Take out a fucking loan to get a rash guard. Like it's insane. That's retail. Now when and they're limited, so like if you don't get them, now you try and buy them resale value, it's double the price.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. And like I was getting to the point where like I would buy some of their stuff and I'm like, man, I'm buying one rash guard for the price of like where I could get like almost a gi or 2 gis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
we're talking about a rash guard.
It's crazy.
You know?
Yeah, the rash guard's crazy, but Taylor got me a gi. I think it was like one of like their basic ones. It was it was like $140, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but that's
if you can get them retail, like some of the gis are like decent price, so that's good.
Yeah, $140 is still cheap for a gi.
Yeah, that's cheap,
and it's
good.
fucking awesome. But yeah, it stinks. I said something to Eddie about that. It stinks that there's like such a limited quantity. I guess like a supply and demand type thing. Like I wish they made more because their products are so good.
Yeah,
that like it'd be nice. But
it's
more exclusive.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. You want to be able to just go on and buy it whenever you want, but it's like I think that's what also makes their brand like sought after. You know what I mean?
But like I'll see an Instagram ad and I'll be like, oh, for like an A&P hoodie, and I'm like, this shit is fire, and then I click it and it's been sold out. So I'm like, why are you even showing me this fucking ad for?
You got to be on it. Yeah, for sure. It's like trying to buy Jordans. You know what I mean? Like on a release date. It's like, but that's what
makes them expensive.
Separates them from Hyperfly or you know Tatami, like companies where you can just go on and buy whenever you want. It's like that's why people like are like all these companies, you know, they hold them to a higher standard because it's like you can't just go get their stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And everything you have like your regulars, and then you have like your super geeks who geek out about shit.
No, dude,
kind of like your sneakerheads.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
There's Facebook pages that buy and resell all that stuff. Like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, just because it's limited. And like realistically, what's the difference between that or like I said, like it's a Tommy rash guard? Like it's made of the same stuff.
Oh yeah, from
you know what I mean? They're getting it from the same people. It just has their designs and you know, and it's limited, so people want it.
Yeah, and somehow it got like a much bigger buzz than Tatami and some of these other companies, you know?
No, I do like that, though, like the idea of like having a limited supply. But I know you're saying it's like it kind of sucks, though, as a customer or like someone who wants to buy their stuff. It's like
100%.
I gotta wait till I get an email notification to go on it and try.
And you got to get it right away. You don't really have a choice.
Exactly.
It's like you get that email, you have to go on there and buy it, or like.
Dude, it's
have,
always like you're like working or something. It's like I don't have time
Yeah,
to go on and
yeah.
like sit at work and wait to buy this rash guard. you
Yeah.
know?
dude, it's like the fucking Crocs, man.
Yeah.
So hard to get. Like those
That
Post
Croc
Malone
game.
Crocs you got that I
If I'm
love.
at
Like,
work, they gotta wait. If
Yeah.
the Crocs are coming out,
yo, but there's money in that. Like,
Didn't
if
you
could
get?
score,
Didn't you get a pair of Crocs that were crazy?
Yeah, I got the Post Malone ones. He has a few actually, but like the newest ones that came out, the black and pink ones.
Yeah, they're fine.
I actually got one for Professor Danny too, because I knew his birthday was coming up, and like he would always like talk down on Crocs and stuff and mess with me and Eddie.
Oh, those were the first
Those
Crocs.
are the first ones he got. Yeah.
Wow.
So he'd always like mess around with us. And but I know he's like a big Post Malone fan, so and like it just happened that like I knew his birthday was in a couple days, and I was getting a pair for myself, so I'm like, fuck, like, oh, that would be like a perfect like birthday.
That
gift.
is,
like,
break him in.
Yeah, and I got him for him, and
You changed his
Dude,
life.
now that
life,
you
bro.
changed
that's
his
all
life.
he
As he
wears.
goes back, the
That's-
rest is history.
That's all he wears.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Now,
so
well,
funny.
now he's got a bunch. Yeah,
Yeah.
Now he's got a bunch.
But it's funny because he'll dress up nice. He has a nice button-on shirt,
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
pair of jeans, and then Crocs.
Nice
Dude,
Crocs,
that's
nice
it. They're
Crocs.
versatile, man.
Yeah.
You could wear them.
Yeah,
anything.
I haven't gotten the Croc game yet. I know you
Oh,
guys are
dude.
big Croc wearers.
They're
but
so
Dude, I've been
comfortable.
rocking them since
Yeah.
2012.
2012.
That's crazy. You're ahead. People used to like hate them.
He's an old head over there in the Croc game.
Dude, I'm a fucking trendsetter.
Now I feel like they're cool.
Yeah.
Like if someone tries telling me like
Well,
Crocs
that's-
are whack, I'm
yeah.
like, no, these
No,
are
you're
fucking
whack.
That's the
sick.
thing. They
dude.
are like now it's like a trend. So it's like fuck. Like it was kind of like like everyone like our own little thing, and then
Yep.
now it's like now everyone's wearing them. So now when people see you wearing them, they're like, oh, you're just part of the trend.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Like, nah, I've been had these.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're like perfect for like our lifestyle. Like if you're like going fishing.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's what I originally got them for, is to
they
go
don't
clamming.
get ruined. When you go to jiu-jitsu,
Yep.
like you just slip them off. Like you don't got to wear socks. So it's
Yeah.
like they're like flip flops.
Yep. And they're a great summer shoe too.
100%.
Yeah.
You can wear them anywhere.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah, barefoot in under a second.
Yep.
Yo, you gotta
You know?
do some. You get into some shit. You put them into
Sport mode, yeah.
Yo, ready to
Engaged.
go. Yeah.
Shoot
And
that.
did you
Shoot
see-
that double real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see they have Croc Heelys?
They have
Nah,
everything.
that's
now.
fire.
Oh
they
yeah,
have,
who
like-
showed us those last night?
Last
$167 for
Yeah.
Croc Heelys. Dude.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's
Yo.
retail or StockX price?
I don't
Like
know.
resale price.
What do you
I don't
mean?
know.
It's so funny that StockX is like a sneaker retail. It's insane.
I don't know,
I
bro.
don't
It was
know.
online.
Like
to
the
get
Post Malone Crocs.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah,
getting. he's
now
getting
we're
no-
getting into the rabbit hole.
No, the Post Malone Crocs he's talking about. Like I'm like, damn, those are so sick. And like I didn't know they were Post Malone. I was like, Connor, those are really cool. Like, what are those? He's like, oh, these are Post Malone ones. So then I looked them up, and like I could only get them in like the secondary market, and they
were like
Yeah.
cut.
they're like fucking $200 now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't.
yeah, I
They're
was
so
gonna
cool.
get these. Crocs and Heelys are probably my two favorite shoes in the world.
So you would love Heelys.
Get them, dude. I had Heelys in middle school.
I never had them.
He's
I
in-
was like a little
He's
old
in,
for
he's
it.
in the woods, like on his heelys, like hunting and shit, just like rolling.
Doing drive-bys.
I had
got his bow drawn and shit as he's just like healing by deer.
yeah. I was too old for the Heelys. I mean, some kids had them in like high school, but I
Too
didn't
old,
have
bro. How old are you? You're what? A couple years older than me.
32.
Yeah, you're 32.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, you're an old man.
Damn.
I am.
Damn, dude. That was tough. I was in the supermarket one day. I saw a bunch of kids on Heelys with their parents, and this kid ate shit, dude.
Really?
Did he?
Yeah, he ran down
I
the
actually
aisle.
ate shit once. I'll never forget this. I got a rock stuck in my fucking like
In the wheel?
and I just like hard stop, and I fucking busted my ass.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean they're cool. They look like a lot of fun,
Yeah.
but I never got behind it.
You know what's mad funny is like when I first got them, I was so sore in my shins, like your anterior tibialis.
From flexing your foot up.
yeah, from flexing your foot up.
Isn't that
my
funny?
God. It was
That's great.
Yeah, so sore.
So we got some boys competing today,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Luisi, Dan, Angelo, and Jared, I believe. I don't know if
Yeah, I
there's
think
any-
Jared.
Yeah.
I
think he was going down with them today.
Yeah, I
Luis
saw
at,
he wrote in the
Wildwood,
chat.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
Wildwood, yep.
It's a cool tournament. I did that tournament for a
Pissed.
couple of years.
It's the Naga.
Yeah, Battle at
Yeah.
the Beach. So
Pissed I have to miss it.
it's a big tournament though. Like you usually get a big turnout, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think the boys are gonna do good though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
definitely.
Yeah, for
Luis,
sure,
I think
man.
Luisi's hand's hurt though.
Yeah, I think.
Yes,
I
Tom.
don't know exactly what happened.
it got bent back like Brandon's did.
Yeah, I think
and it's,
something.
It's
with his
it's all
thumb.
bruised up, and he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's going in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Danny said just to tape it to his hand. Do
Yeah.
animal hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna
You're-
have to do.
I asked him that. I was like, because you know how you have like that little brace on. I asked him, I'm like, are you allowed to wear something like that when you?
Nah.
I don't think so.
I don't think, and he's like, I don't think you can. But I guess you're
Yo,
allowed to tape
honestly,
your hands
some
up.
of these tournaments, you could just try shit like that and see what they say.
What's the
Like,
worst
so,
that's gonna
yeah,
happen?
They tell you to take it off, you take it off.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because like, I mean, some of the like other than like IBJJF, like a lot of tournaments with the rules are so
Inconsistent.
iffy. Yeah, like it really just depends on like who you walk up to. Like,
Yeah,
if
that's
it's,
true.
Like, you know, like some of the guys are super strict. Some of the guys are like, whatever, man. Like, go ahead.
Yeah,
What
like
do you-
one
what do you-
ref. It
What
was
do
like
you
ref
guys
ref.
think about this like COVID weigh-in bullshit, where you don't have to weigh in at the actual
That's
location?
insane that you're
and
allowed
you
to
get
just send.
weigh
You're
in
just
at
allowed
home.
to send a picture.
Is that
No.
that like?
Sogi did that?
So I know Sogi did that, but did, like other tournaments are doing that.
I don't
too?
know.
I know Sogi did that, but I don't know. That's the only one I've heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. And
Yeah,
you could
it's
weigh in
it's
like days
a
before.
satellite weigh-in they call it, or
Yeah.
like a.
I know, but all the scales are different. Like you
I
could
know-
you
oh,
could
yeah,
jump
no,
on
it's
three
ridiculous.
different
Dude,
scales.
they used to do that in like for some wrestling tournaments, like off-season tournaments that were like kind of like not well put together. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, just just literally. I don't even think that you would have to send a video.
Just
like,
a
it was
picture.
just, like-
Picture.
or
Yeah.
like just like basically in the
Just
honor, it's
Photoshop.
like the honor system, and it's
Right.
like, bro, like, and you'd go in and wrestle, and you're like, all right, this kid is definitely not.
Yes,
this has to be a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, he weighed in. It's
Well, I
like,
was saying to like some of the guys too that like, you know, for instance, Pat, he weighed in for the Sogi tournament at home. And I remember when I wrestled in high school, if kids were like real close to making weight, or maybe they were even a little over, they would weigh naked naturally.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
right, we've seen that before even in
Yeah,
high school
yeah.
wrestling. Two coaches would hold the towel.
Yeah.
You guys would be the other team. The numbers would be right here. And the third coach would like lean over the back of the wrestler, looking over the towel at the numbers, and would just lift his butt cheek up.
really.
And would just take like a pound off. Would
You
take a pound and a half off. And I'm talking like just
Yeah.
a little lift where it's like no one sees it and the scale goes a pound less.
I heard you could
Dude.
put like a penny or something under the scale too.
We
I
used
like
to.
throwing up
We
a
used
So many
to,
different tricks.
We used to like, cause like in
four
wrestling,
corners.
you'd have the exact same scale. Like, well, you'd have your scale that you would bring to every tournament or to every dual meet, and that's what you'd weigh in on. Or for at least all your home matches, that's what you'd weigh on. So we would stand all over the scale, like
And find
as
them.
many times as you could, and just find the
That's
lightest
smart.
spot. Find the lightest spot, because it's kind of like the same thing you're saying with the penny. If you can step on like one side, maybe it'll lift the scale a little bit, or maybe it just won't, process all the weight, I guess. But
Yeah.
we would stand in every corner, every side, so we knew like,
I
okay,
believe it was the
all right,
bottom left.
the top right side or the bottom left or whatever. Like that's that one's light. You know what I mean? And that's where you would stand.
That's
So there's
that's
all different
awesome.
ways, yeah.
Yeah, so like I kind of feel like, I don't know, I think it's bullshit, because if I wasn't gonna make weight, or like if I knew I could weigh in at the house, I don't know if I would go that serious about making weight.
Yes.
I would just be
And
like,
then- and
I would
then-
just be like, yo, kind of lift me up a little bit,
And
dude.
dude, with that, like that's like so much like there's just so many ways you could fucking cheat with that. Like
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
literally like, okay, start the video, I'm recording you, right? I go to the scale, a different person steps on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
then-
Exactly.
and then you could just
then
splice
he
it.
steps off. No, he like, okay, so if he's got, I got to make whatever 155 and he's 155 and I don't weigh that. You start the video, you're recording me, then you go to the scale, I step away, he steps on. They're not gonna know the difference between our feet.
Yep, 100%.
Then he steps off, you go back to me, and he
Yes.
goes away.
yeah.
Like
100%.
it's like, come on, like
Yeah, it's
there's
so
no way you could.
right. And if you're gonna record it, like even then, like okay, like we got to see you on the scale. Okay, I'm on the scale, but then when you looked at the number, it's the lighter guy on the
That's
scale.
what I'm saying.
So like you
yeah,
can cheat the
yeah,
system
yeah,
every way.
it's-
And not for nothing, but now with all like Photoshop
Yeah.
and video
You could
editing,
easily-
it's
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
can easily
chop
fucking
it up and just make it, look like you're.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm also not a big fan of these grappling tournaments having a day before weigh-ins.
No.
Yeah,
I like the day of.
I am a huge fan of weighing in, going straight to your fight.
Yes.
because I think it deters like heavy weight cutting.
Yep.
And it's like it punishes you, because it's like, all right, you have the option to still cut weight, but it's like it's at your own risk, because now if you cut a shit ton of weight
The
like,
wrong
you're-
way.
you're gonna have to pay for it. Like you're gonna feel all the negative side effects of it. Whereas if you cut a shit ton of weight and then you have a full day to recover, like man, like you could.
You're
gain,
not even that weight anymore.
Yeah, and you
It's
could
like
gain
you're-
so much of that, all that fluid, everything back. Like
Yeah, you could easily put on 20 pounds.
yeah,
in a day.
I like how the IBJJF does it, where it's like you weigh in and you go right to your mat.
Yeah,
Not only because it's like that, but it's also just like when you have to be there, and that's when you're gonna compete. Like
Yeah.
there's no like show, because how many times have you done like a local tournament and it's like show up at 11, you compete at 1 o'clock.
right.
It's like because you have to show up at 11 to weigh in. But
Yeah.
then you don't compete till 1. It's like, so why do I have to be here?
Yeah.
All these extra
Yeah, just have the
hours.
scale by the mat. I walk in,
Yep,
I get
weigh
checked
in,
in, and then I'm on the mat.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Like if you want to cut weight, that's your choice, but you're not gonna have any time to rehydrate or anything. Like
Yeah, but I mean, like I remember back in the day there was day in day of weigh-ins.
Yeah.
I like those better.
Yeah, but I think like what you were saying, Connor, it's like it makes sense. It really like washes out like all the bullshit weight cuts. You know, people who are really trying to play the system, and like you said, I mean, it's a great point. Like they're gonna have to pay the price.
Yeah.
There's no time to rehydrate, to replenish.
Right.
You know, and especially with all like this talk now, like about people like trying to get rid of cutting weight and stuff, and it's like I think for at least, you know, MMA is a whole different story, but like I think at least for like grappling and wrestling, like that's a good way to deter it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, you can still do it. It's your choice, but like it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? Like you know the risk you're taking. So I think that's like a good way to deter it.
I think like heavy weight cuts for jits is kind of like I'm not a big
yeah.
I think like maybe
so
losing 10 or 15 pounds so that you feel better, because I feel like we all feel better when we shed that extra fat that we don't need.
Yeah.
But to like cut 20, 30 pounds to get into a different weight class for a jits tournament or competition.
But that's like kind of defeating the purpose of jiu-jitsu, right? Like jiu-jitsu is meant for the smaller person to use angles, to use you know, all this technique, leverage to beat a bigger person. So it's like but I also feel like, you know, for someone who's cutting 30 pounds to get into a completely different weight class, it's like you're going to be in close proximity anyway. Yeah. Like you don't have to deal with range, you don't have to deal with a jab or kicks or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, so like what's the point?
No, it's definitely not as important as like MMA or wrestling. Yeah. Like I always say that.
I think cutting some weight to be a little healthier, to shed that extra weight.
And I think like people have like this whole this misconception of cutting weight. Like I always tell people like there's a big difference between losing weight and cutting weight. Like, okay, if you're 200 pounds and you have to make, say, 170, right? Like, for example, Pat, right? When he had to make weight, like, he's like, oh, I'm like 195 or whatever. I have to make 170. He's like, I have to cut, you know, what was it, 20, 30 pounds.
No, you're losing weight.
Like, no, you have to lose probably 15 pounds because you can. Like, if you want to be ideally healthy, like, yeah, you'd probably lose 10, 15 pounds, and that would be, like, a good weight for you. After that, you're cutting weight.
Yes.
You know what
point.
I mean?
Great point.
Because cutting weight isn't just losing your, extra fat that you have. That you
cutting weight,
you're dehydrating. You're dehydrating
cutting
yourself.
starts when you're at the point where you're, okay, I'm at a healthy weight. Now I'm going below that. Now I'm going beyond that.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the cut starts.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Now I'm twisting that sponge to get that last bit of water
Exactly.
out.
That's like the cut. You know what I mean? And like, I think like you're saying, like, what you're saying, like, oh, you know, I think you should lose 10 pounds or so, like, just so you feel better. I think that's, like, losing weight in a healthy way.
Yes.
And, like, I agree. Like, I think that's, like, a good thing. Like, if I'm thinking about competing and I've just been eating, like, garbage, just kind of, like, training here and there, like, it's like, okay, I probably could lose, like, 10 pounds and feel way better. You know what I mean? But if I'm already eating healthy, like, I'm training every day, I'm pretty much, like, in good shape, it's like, all right, anything after that, it's like, all right, do I want to cut this weight? You know what I mean? There's a difference there. So I agree with you. Like, I think
that's a great point.
I think that there's people who like think that like, oh, I'm gonna cut all this weight. It's like, well, no, a lot of it is weight you probably should just lose anyway.
Right, you should be walking around lighter
just to feel good, you know, just to feel better. Like, so, but no, I just going back to what you're saying, I agree with that 100% because there's a lot of times where like people are like, oh, I have to cut all this weight. It's like, well, no, you should probably just lose that weight to feel better. You know what I mean? Just to be in good shape, ready to compete. And people after that is
is cutting.
Yeah,
and that's a great point. Like you lose weight and then you cut weight. But people don't realize that either, that like walking around 10 pounds lighter, you're going to feel so much better.
Oh, yeah. Or your clothes feel better and shit.
And also,
Pat's kept it off, too.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, it's good. Like, he looks way healthier.
I asked him, like, what do you weigh? He's like 176. I'm like, dude, you look good. Like, just try and keep it up. You know, like.
It's just lifestyle.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all it is. And that's the thing, too. Like, that 10 or 15 pounds that you're walking around with are probably your habits and things that you do as far as eating and living. You know, so if you just clean that up, those 10 or 15 pounds are going to come off, and then you're going to feel better anyway.
Right.
You know? And obviously, Pat's doing the right thing, hopefully, by keeping the weight off, you know?
No,
playing in bouncy houses.
Yeah, he is. I just saw
I saw that. That was hilarious. Fucking hurt his shoulder. Fucking jerk. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of, like, the video weigh-ins. I think it's such bullshit, dude. I was so, like... I'm like, how is that even fair? Like, how can you, like, put everybody on the same honor system and expect everybody to be honest?
But not only that, but you can zero your scale to a lighter weight.
Oh, like a tear, like on a regular scale.
If you put it, no, if you take your scale, right, and you put, like, say you go to the gym and you get a 2.5 pound weight, right? You put it on and you hit 0, it'll zero it out.
So now it thinks that is 0 pounds.
Right, now you step on it.
Oh, it's 2 pounds lighter.
2.5 pounds lighter.
You could do that on a digital scale?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you could. I know you could do that on like like the doctor
No.
like
It's
looking
like you
scale?
could
Like you could,
set it. Like you
Yeah.
set it. Like,
Oh,
You can
wow.
set the zero.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
but like you
So
said,
that
like,
even that takes away even the idea of
Yep.
kind of jumping on and
Yeah,
off when I
right.
jump on.
Right.
Like, all right, put my 5-pound weight on, tear it, jump off. Now it's 5 pounds.
Guys aren't even
later.
going to be trying. They're going to be little big beer belly
Beer
hopping
belly.
on 135.
They're
like,
putting the
what the
45-pound
fuck?
plate
Yeah.
on. They're zeroing it out.
Their belly's in the
Light
way of
featherweight. Here we come.
Damn, this
Yeah.
boy is not a featherweight.
He's really short. Trust me.
yeah,
That rehydrate.
yeah. Oh yeah, this guy definitely rehydrated. So it's those liquid IVs that he took for sure.
Yeah. I hope. Yeah, I hope they don't start doing. I don't think they will. I think that was just like for Sogi. Maybe it just made it easier for them because
It's a smaller tournament.
small-
They don't have a lot of room.
They don't have a lot of room. They probably had to run regular classes too still because it was at the gym, so they didn't
Right.
want like a million people coming in throughout the day to weigh in.
Yeah.
While they're trying to run. Like,
Also,
regular
too,
classes.
it was 20-minute match, sub only.
Yeah, I believe, well,
No.
yeah.
Was
no.
it- or eight?
Eight
8
minutes.
minutes. 8
I don't know what
minutes.
the super fights might have been longer. They're probably
Yeah,
like
super
10
fights
or-
were-
But still,
15.
an 8-minute match, sub only, and then you go into overtime. So I guess that also helped just to get the tournament rolling right off the bat.
Yeah.
Tournament starts at 11, no
Yeah.
weigh-ins, everybody's weighed
Oh
in,
yeah,
boom,
yeah.
and we
they
just
don't have
start
to worry
rocking
about
and
all that.
rolling.
Yeah, 100%.
dude,
But-
8 minutes is a long time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
definitely.
But I
is.
think 8 minutes is a perfect time to because sometimes I feel like when you have those 5-minute matches, like it's too short. Like you're just starting to figure out like what this guy is gonna, like
so you would like a little bit more time.
yeah,
Like kind of get like the corks out, the nerves out, whatever. Your game just starts developing in that match, and then 5 minutes is over already.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
that-
also like if say me and Terrence are going right, and we're both blue belts in one day, and
He looked right at me too. He's
Yo,
like,
Terrence is on the come up, bro. Don't sleep.
he is.
no,
He
but
is.
like say we're both like skill wise, very similar.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that's a fair assessment.
But it's like we're equal. So it's like 5 minutes is like we're just figuring each other's game out.
Yeah.
Then like after that, then you're like, all right, I see this hole, so now you can start to attack that.
Yeah.
Whereas like you said, 5 minutes is just like you just start to figure them out, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it also depends on the rule set because like sub only, I think the 8 minutes makes sense. If it's a points tournament, 8 minutes is too long.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like you're counting the points. So like you could, if a guy's up 10-0 and it's 3 minutes in, it's like, okay, do we really need to go to 8 minutes to figure out
Right.
who the better grappler
Right.
is in this situation? Like whereas
Yeah.
like sub only, the whole point of the match is like
To finish.
yeah, you're looking for a submission. So like you're not counting points. So even if a guy technically was up 10-0, like he could still get submitted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like you need time for that to play out. Whereas like the points, like
Yeah, points can
people
be
are
shorter.
fighting more for positions and stuff like that. So yeah, I think like 8 minutes for like sub only is good.
You have a preference in what you'd like to compete in?
I don't know, man. I like the points.
You did sub only at Rise that one year, right?
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about sub only is like, well, it depends. Like with the EBI rule sets, like you're seeing a lot of guys now, like, so the whole point of sub only is like, oh, push to action, people only looking for submissions. But now you're seeing people only train the overtimes.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then they're stalling to get to the overtime because they know they can escape faster. So
Right.
it's like you stall for 8 minutes, just don't get submitted, and then you've put in 100 rounds of overtime rounds.
That was
in
like
your
what happened to
training.
Danny at
And
Emerald
okay,
City.
you win by 3 seconds faster escape time.
Yeah, these rule
Like,
sets
okay,
don't really
so
determine the better grappler.
Exactly, and like that was like going back to like what you were talking about before with like John Danaher on Joe Rogan. He was speaking about that. He said like no matter what rule set, the rules will never make the match interesting, right?
Correct.
It's the grapplers.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like their mindset. Like, do they want to try and just submit each other and not worry about points, rules, or whatever? Like that's what's gonna make it exciting. So I think like no matter what rule set you put together, like people will find loopholes. People will
Of
find
course.
ways
Yeah.
to just try and win.
Yep.
Right? And it just comes down to like the grapplers and like the coaches like passing the mentality on to them.
Yeah, he made a great point about that, where it has to be developed in the gym.
for
It's
sure,
it's the
100%.
culture,
Right.
and that's what's going to produce better fights. That's what's going to produce the better shows.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, like points, everybody grabs that takedown and they fucking lock in.
Yeah.
Side
Yeah,
control.
It's so
they-
lame, just laying on the guy
they
inside
anchor
control.
in. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They try to ride out the last 3 minutes.
And there's arguments for both sides because people say, oh, well, sub only, like, it forces you to go for the submission because that's the only thing that can win you the match.
Right, and you
like-
also don't have to worry about losing by points, so people
Exactly.
become a little
Yeah.
bit more creative.
Yeah. But people also, like, don't give a fuck. Okay, you can pass my guard. They lay there. Oh, you can pass my guard. Oh, you can mount me because, maybe I'll just try and, escape mount and attack a leg lock or something like that. You know what I mean? So then that's a downfall to that. And like we were saying, like stalling to overtime. Then you have points where it's like, oh, people just hold on. People just sit in 50-50. People just hold the collars. People just hold the positions and just stall. Or they get a takedown and just stall.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but I've also seen cases where people fight hard as shit because they know they're rewarded for these positions.
Yeah.
So whereas in sub only, some guy's not going to fight hard as fuck to pass your guard because he doesn't get anything for it.
Correct.
But in points, I'm going to get 3 points for passing your guard.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm going to get 2 points for a takedown, so I'm going to fight hard for it. So it's like, it just goes back to what we were saying.
There's no
It's all-
perfect
it's
rule set.
all- Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about the
Until we come.
competitors.
Well, WN, like the who's number one, now they have
They-
like,
they
I think
have-
the first 10 minutes, points come into play, I think, after the first 10 minutes
No,
or something
that's
like that.
ADC.
That's ADCC.
Yeah.
ADCC.
Yeah, ADCC does, I think, first
It's-
5 or no. Or
I thought it was 20-minute matches, right?
Yeah, I thought
think
the
that's
first
just the
10.
finals, though.
Oh, okay.
I think they do 10-minute matches, and then the finals is 20 minutes. I could be wrong, but I think the first 5 is no points, second 5 is points,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the finals, the first 10 is no points, second 10 is points.
Like
Yeah,
I was
believe.
I was a big fan of the EBI. I thought it was great because I
Yeah,
liked the
they
idea
had
of
good-
sub only. But then, like you said, when people started to like work the rules, I lost a lot of interest.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this sucks.
I like sub only if there's a definitive winner, like Rise.
Yeah,
Like that's terrible
there's no point
when
of doing a
it's sub
draw.
only, but then if nobody subs, it's a
Yeah.
draw.
Have a ref's
Yeah, it
decision.
sucks.
Just have the ref.
Yeah,
decision. So at
That's
least
what I
you
was
have a
thinking.
winner, you
Yeah,
know
that's
I
what I
mean?
was
Like,
thinking too.
Because you could dominate someone the whole match, and then
Well, that
you
was like
just
your
couldn't
match.
Submit them, and then
Yeah, that was a
draw,
great
you
match.
know, like
That
mean,
one
he
that one
was
take that
winning
one
the-
takedown was nice, dude.
thank you.
He was winning the whole time, and then it just kind of a wash.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he
And
wasn't
there was
on
a-
your level at
Yeah,
all.
and there was a lot of matches. Like even that night, there was so many matches where guys were like dominating, and then they just could not get the submission. Because like we all know how hard is it when someone's just not trying to win? They're just not trying to not get
Yeah.
submitted. So
You
Right.
can't fight somebody who doesn't want to fight
Exactly,
you. You can't
and
sub somebody
so
who's
it's
not
like-
trying to
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah,
You know.
or engage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the points just because it's like if you do get someone like that, it's like all right, at least I can score. At least I can like still win. You know what I mean? Like whereas like it's like okay,
Gives you multiple ways to win.
Yeah.
But, especially like now with like the IBJJF introducing heel hooks and nogi, like I think the matches are so much more exciting.
Yeah.
Too, because like there's a lot of positions in the IBJJF where like you could stall because guys couldn't attack your legs, and now it's like gone, and it's cool seeing like guys who never did those tournaments now doing those tournaments, and they're fighting like the best IBJJF guys who like usually you never see fight like a lot of the 10th Planet guys, a lot of guys who do only sub only, but now they're fighting them because there's heel hooks allowed.
I wonder
think that's
why
a
they
cool
were the
mix.
last to jump on the bandwagon with heel hooks.
I thought it was. I thought they didn't allow heel hooks only in gi. I didn't know that it was no gi also.
No reaping or
Yeah.
heel hooks. You couldn't even reap.
Yeah, 'cause remember
can,
when
you
you
can reap now?
When you
Oh,
competed,
yeah, black and brown belts.
yeah. Remember when you competed in Smithtown?
Mm-hmm.
You were no gi.
Yeah, but I'm also blue belt. I didn't know.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but
Sure.
the rules are different than IBJJF. They're
Yeah.
like their own.
I wonder why though. I wonder why they were the last to do it.
no,
I think
Pride was
it's just-
IBJJF.
Injuries? Like they're worried about
well,
injuries?
yeah, that's what they said, but I think
Just
that was the original thing, which I
think that's
understand.
what it
But I
was.
think then so many like organizations started to allow it, and it's like okay, well, there's really not. It's not really the injuries that are the problem. And then I think after a while, they just like had been like that for so long, and I guess, they have all their top guys, and they don't want to just change the rules. And now I don't know. I think
yeah.
they were just kind of like holding out on it until like
think it's
they
better,
really
though.
had to. 100%, it's better. 100%.
Yeah.
Especially where the game is going today. Like you can't have a
No, yeah.
tournament that's strictly like traditional and like kind of like old school jits.
Yeah.
What
do you feel? How do you feel about heel hooks in the gi?
I mean, it's gonna be tough.
That's a friction thing. I feel like is that why they're not allowed?
Yeah, because it's tough to escape because of the friction of like the pants
Yeah.
and the sleeves and stuff.
But we were also I was talking to Danny, and he was saying how like I think it was when his friends were here from California. Like, yeah, the friction makes it harder to escape, but
It also allows you to keep the leg too.
well, it also allows you to grab a collar, to grab a sleeve, to anchor
true.
into them so that you can defend.
Yeah.
So even though it might be easier with the friction to get that heel hook, it's also easier to defend because you have things to grab.
Yeah. That's a good point. So yeah, I guess on the flip side too, it's going to help the guy who's getting heel hooked.
Yeah.
I think eventually it'll be allowed. I mean, like,
I don't see why it shouldn't.
I think, eventually it'll all be allowed.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
at the high levels like black
Yeah.
and brown. Like, why not?
It's going to take a while just because, like, look how long it took just to get heel hooks in Nogi, in
Yeah.
IBJJF, like. So it'll take a while. It's just like an evolution. Like, everything changes. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy seeing where the game's going though.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
You know, I definitely am not versatile in the leg lock game, but it's interesting to watch how it developed.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like a whole nother world.
It really
you know,
is.
It's like learning about it. It's like, oh my god, I feel like a white belt again. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, but that's the fun part. That's what's cool because like you don't want to just keep learning the same stuff
Right.
over and over again.
Well, that's what it's
or
about.
doing the same stuff. You know,
It's almost
And-
like it's like learning judo or wrestling. It's almost like its own little thing inside jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and jiu-jitsu, I mean, that's what got us all here, right? Is the learning aspect.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
you start learning new things, it's exciting,
100%.
right? So when
Yeah.
you stop learning, you kind of like
Yeah.
that fire kind
boring.
of dwindles, and you're like,
Just
"Ah,
repetitive.
yeah, I'm over jits,
Yep.
But when you keep learning, it's like, oh, this is exciting,
Yeah. Yeah, you're present. You're there. You're like, oh, okay. Like, it's not just showing up. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go to another class. Like, yeah, whatever, we'll do a couple.
Yeah,
moves
seen
I've already
this
done,
before.
and then I just wait to roll. It's like, okay, well, at that point, you're paying for mat space. You're
Yeah.
not paying to learn.
Yeah, you're paying for an open mat.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like you should always be learning. You should always be like evolving.
Yeah, yeah. That was a big goal of mine with jiu-jitsu, like becoming a black belt. Like I always wanted to continue to learn.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why
Which
I
is
came
rare,
to breathe. I came to breathe for that reason. Like I
Yeah.
could have went to any school and signed up and did whatever, but learning and continuing to learn and grow was like super important. It's like top of my list.
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
know?
No, that's how me and Eddie felt when we first went there. Like, dude, I remember the first after the first class, but even after like the first 2 or 3 classes, like I didn't learn a single move that I had ever even seen. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I'm like, what? Like, what? And at that point, I was a blue belt, but I was like, oh, like I'm pretty good. Like I competed a lot. Like
Yeah.
watched a lot of videos. Like studied so much, and I'm like, oh, like I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And I'm like, how have I never seen any of these moves? Like I didn't even like. I literally we were doing them, and I felt like a white belt.
Yeah.
Like,
and
man, like,
for
how-
people who are listening, just to give you a little bit more credit, because credit's due, you did a lot of studying. You and your brother do a lot of homework. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So for you to say, oh, I was a blue belt and I haven't seen these moves, some people listening might go, yeah, you're a blue belt, dude.
Yeah.
But you guys do a lot of fucking homework, man. I
try,
give you a
yeah.
lot of credit for that. You
Thank
know what I'm
you.
saying?
Thank
So
you.
like,
Yeah.
just so people, when they're listening, they're like, oh, well, yeah, Connor, you're a blue belt. Like, you're not going to see that shit. You
I
guys
was
did a
training,
lot of fucking
competing a lot.
homework. Yeah, you did a lot of homework.
Yeah, man, and but like you're saying, like once that like blew my mind. I'm like, holy shit! And it was like for the first time I'm seeing this from like an instructor who's just teaching a class. It's not like it was a private lesson where
Or
I'm
a
like,
seminar.
Oh, I want to learn this, or a seminar where they're gonna show some stuff that's like hasn't been seen, or you're watching a video. It's like, no, this dude is
This
10
is
minutes
like
away
daily.
from me, and this is what he's showing in a normal class. Like there's like white belts there and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, like if this is just what he shows on a regular day, it's not like he was switching up his class for us. You know what I mean? Like, and especially now that I know like Professor Danny, like that's just how he is. Like what he's gonna teach is what he's gonna teach. It doesn't matter like he'll never try and there's a black belt coming to visit. Let me switch up the class to impress him.
Right.
No, if he's gonna teach,
that's
a
what
kid
hap-
sweep.
Even
He's gonna teach a kid sweep. That's what
with his
he's gonna
friends.
learn.
Yeah, when his friends were here from California, we went over like straight ankle lock
Yeah.
defense and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
he didn't
like,
try to do
stays
any.
true to like what
funky-
he thinks the class needs. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, going back to what we were saying, like, just seeing that, I was like, oh my god, man, like, I gotta be here. Like, I need to learn this stuff.
Yep.
Like, this is and like even still to this day, man, like he just like puts in the work on his own too. Like going training at Sarah's, training with Jason Rao, like, and it's not only just to get him better, but the main focus is to learn this stuff to pass it on to the students.
Yeah.
And like that's
Yeah.
what's cool. Like, me and Eddie go train with them too, and it's like learning all this stuff, and then now like it's like passing it to the students and like seeing like everyone else learn it. It's really cool, man. And it's like I think that's what separates it from a lot of other schools, because we've all been to, you know, different schools where it's just like you go in learning the same thing. Like maybe you ask some questions, you learn something like every once in a while. But like for the most part, it's like if you don't go seek the information yourself, like you get to a point where you're really not learning much.
Yeah.
You're just training.
100%.
You know? And it's like I said before, at that point, you're just paying for a mat space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not paying. It's a school. It's an academy. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to go every day and learn, you know? So, like, I think, like, it's really cool, like, hearing, like, you say that, like, when you got your black belt, like, you wanted to keep learning because, like, that's usually, people usually have the opposite mindset. It's like, oh, once I get my black belt, like, I've made it. I did it. Like, I you know, not that they know it all, but it's like, oh, now I can kind of just cruise. Now I can just show up. And you see so many guys like that. And it's like, me and Eddie talk about this a lot. Like, I never want to be like a black belt who gets his black belt and then, you know, a blue belt or purple belt who's like, you know, competitive and learning new stuff comes in and runs through me. It's like, you know what I mean? Then it's like the belt doesn't mean anything. It's like it's about your knowledge and like what you know.
That's the other thing too, talking about belts. Is it always like makes me laugh when people are like, yeah, the belt just holds up your pants. It really means nothing. But like, I'm not a real big believer of that. I kind of feel like, yeah, like your skill and your mentality has to reflect what the belt is on your waist.
Yeah.
But that belt is also, it also shows like your hard work, your dedication, your sacrifice. Because like
sweat equity.
Yeah, like not everybody gets to get to that level.
Yeah.
You know, 100%. And when you do get to that level, like, yeah, like you definitely don't want to get beat by a blue belt or a purple belt. But it shows everybody like, hey, listen, like, I've been doing this. I reached the goal. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
100%. It definitely, it's like a, it does. It shows that, like, you know, you don't just get that belt. You know, like, it shows that you've put in the work. It's like a representation of that. It's like a physical representation.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honor. Yeah, you know?
I think it's just like a fine balance because there's some people that believe that that's all that matters. You know what I mean? It's like you see people get a belt and they post like, oh, you know, got my blue belt. On to the next one. Can't wait for purple. It's like, well, that's not what it's about. It's like, you know, and it's about learning, and those are just markers along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are goals. Like, you know, it's good to have goals too. Like, everyone wants to get a black belt one day, but it's like everything that happens in between white and black is what matters. It's not the belt itself.
Yeah, and even after black.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I just think people sometimes focus like too much on that, and that's all they want. But it's like, at the end of the day, when I say it doesn't matter, it does matter. Like you're saying, like it's a representation of your work, and it reminds you, like, okay, this is the work I put in, like all the years, all the training. It's like, but the training itself is what matters, and it's like you learning is what matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, growing and developing. You know,
because
100%.
Dude, like going back to what you were saying before, like you saying like, oh, I want to keep learning. Like that's so rare because I know so many black belts that like. They just show up to train. They just want to roll. They don't care about learning. It's like in their head they've learned it all, or they've
already
it
won.
All. They've achieved what they want. It's like, well, no, really, that's just the beginning. You know what I mean? Because you know, like just like when you're a white belt, blue belt, purple belt, like you want to keep learning so you can get to the black belt.
Yeah.
Just because you get to the black belt doesn't mean it's over. You know what I mean? You can always keep learning, and like. Yeah. So I think that's really cool that like you have that mindset because there's not a lot of people who do, man.
Thank you.
The one thing going back to we were saying with Danny when he's constantly learning, right? This guy Paul Check, he's a very well-known strength and conditioning coach and you know holistic lifestyle guy, and he has like this philosophy of like it's a triangle, right? He calls it I, we, all. So basically. Like, you learn to better yourself, right? Like, you want to be, he talks about being selfish, right? Like, you want to be selfish because when you learn, right, I am the top of the triangle, right? Then it goes to we, right? I learn so I can teach we, right? And then when we know it, all will follow, right? So it's like that That's triangle, cool. I, we, all, right? And if you're not selfish, then nobody's going to learn. Yeah. Right. But if you are selfish to put yourself first, right? When Danny goes to Sarah, goes to, you know, trains with Jason, like he's not saying that he's selfish, but he's selfishly learning for himself so that we can learn. Yep. And then when we can learn, everyone will know what breathe is. You
right.
know,
and they'll all come and follow.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always told Danny too, man, like I felt like the East Coast needed him.
Yes.
You know, I felt like the style that he brings to the East Coast is like, it was like super important. You think about all these gyms that even like local right now, like their lineage is like very, right?
Yeah,
It trickles.
Enzo,
Right.
Marcelo.
It trickles down from the same guy, and it just spread out.
Yep.
And you go to one place, you go to the other place. It's like you almost learn the same shit.
And not only that, but you're learning like washed down versions of it.
Right.
You know, you're not
Exactly.
going to Marcelo. You're not going to Henzo.
Yeah.
You know, you're learning from third tier down.
Yep.
You know, or whatever.
Yeah, that's something I always like try to explain to people too when they're like, "Oh, like why'd you choose to go to Breathe?" Like mainly, you know, once I met Danny and Jamie, of course, like that was a huge selling point.
Yeah,
Just,
wonderful
like,
people.
Yeah, amazing people, man. And but the style, like that was a style I always wanted to play. I always tried to play. Like I would just watch videos of the Mendes brothers.
Yeah,
like,
when we first met, that's what you were trying to implement.
I was trying to and I was trying to teach myself through videos, which it was like I learned a lot, but like it's like half-ass details, like
Right.
sloppy. Maybe I was getting I would be able to do the moves, like just because like a lot of people didn't know what I was doing, or
Yeah.
like didn't know how to defend correctly, maybe. But I wasn't doing it right. I was doing it like super sloppy. And I remember like me and Eddie would like watch videos for like hours, like just watching videos, just trying to do the moves, trying to like putting up the video and just trying to drill it. And it's like, man, like once we went to Breathe, we started learning all that stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, man, like the night and day difference between like actually learning it from someone who knows it and then like, you know, trying to learn yourself. But like
all those details.
There's no one else, you know, around here who really like can show the stuff he's showing, like you know, like that style, like when it comes to like barambolos or like, you know, leg drag positions,
Even
stuff like that.
Delahiva, even
Yeah,
Delahiva.
100%.
Like you go to any school, like they know Delahiva, but
it's totally different.
Yes,
Totally
yes,
different.
100%.
Yeah.
But,
Crazy.
Yeah, so many positions like that, and like I try to explain that to people, but it's tough, like trying to explain it to people who don't train. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like even some people who do train don't get it, but man, like it is cool, like being a part of that. It's like there's not, like you said, there's really no other gyms. You know, maybe like in the city, like Unity and stuff like that, but really around here, it's like really hard to find that, especially like straight from the source. Like he learned it from the best guys in the world.
Yeah.
You know, for years.
Yeah,
So-
the guys who pretty much made it popular.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
And at the highest level, you know, they prove it works. You know,
Yep.
like so it is really cool, like learning that stuff, and it's like it's like learning jiu-jitsu all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like I mentioned earlier, going there and like learning moves that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I could
You know?
attest. I could attest to that too.
Yeah.
Even like I remember going there and
Even
like
simple stuff.
And you're a
too.
black belt. It's
Yeah.
not like, you
Yeah.
know.
yeah, exactly, and that's when. So when the change happened for me, I'm not going to shout out or whatever. But when the change happened to me, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, oh man, hopefully I made the right decision and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And then like after my first 2 classes, I was like, I made the right decision.
Yeah,
And it's funny how like sometimes things work out. You know, like I'm not a big believer that things happen for a reason. I'm a big believer that like things happen to work out for the good.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you make these decisions and you're like, fuck, that was really stupid. I mean, I shouldn't have done that. And then sometimes you do and you're like, wow, this really was a power
Yeah.
move. And
Yeah.
for me personally, like it was a power move, man.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
guard retention. I remember when we did that drill where like we couldn't grab, we had to just
Yeah.
keep our knees tucked. I went up to Danny. I was like, dude, this was like the fucking best class,
Yeah,
bro. Like
yeah.
I'm like blown away. Thank you. You know, like
Dude,
this was fucking
for
awesome.
sure. Me and
Yeah.
Eddie tell like the students all the time, especially in the basics class, like so much of the stuff like they're learning is like stuff that we didn't learn until we were purple and brown belts.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they're able to learn this as a white belt, like they don't realize how like lucky they are. You know what I mean? Because how many things have you probably learned there now that you're like, what the fuck? How,
Oh, dude.
why did I never learn this?
Countless.
Why did I never learn guard retention? You know what I mean?
Countless.
Just pummeling my legs or framing
Yeah.
like correctly. It's
Yeah,
like,
because my guard retention was frame, shrimp, and regard.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Grab a collar grip and get back to
Yeah.
my guard. But it's like that's not guard retention. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just kind of panicking, grabbing a grip and trying to get back. And that's I feel like I was the same way. I know Eddie was the same way. And it's like, man, like why like we never learned even concepts like this. Like I never really thought about guard retention. Like you're saying, it was just like, oh, shrimp, get away from the guy,
Yeah.
make my grips and go again.
I think that's also another big thing that Danny does very well is teaching concepts or like philosophy of like, you know, long range or short range guards,
Right.
you know, where like people just show you moves. You know, you go to a different gym and you're just learning moves. You're not learning.
Update. Couple golds for the boys.
Oh yeah,
Dan and Angelo
Who
both.
do we got?
Dan and Angelo both won. They're no-gi.
Nice.
Nice.
Gold?
Let me see.
Yeah, gold.
Damn, peep those rash guards. Too.
Yeah.
What we got there?
We got
Jits and
Transcend, Jits
Tits.
and Tits. Well represented. Let's go.
Shout out the boys.
Taking
Thanks,
over.
kids.
yeah,
So then they're no gi, so they're gonna do gi later, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
later.
So
But yeah,
going
you know,
back to Danny.
most gyms you go to, like even when I started, like you're learning moves. You're learning this move, and then you go back the next day, you learn this move, and then you go back the next day, and you're learning a move over here.
Yeah.
And it's like up to you. Like my brother said, it's up to you to like kind of figure the shit out on your own.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, well, we learned a leg lock yesterday, we learned an arm bar today, and then tomorrow we're doing a fucking, whatever, a guillotine. It's like, well, how do they go together?
Right.
It's like they really don't,
No.
but they kind of do. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
like someone throwing a puzzle at you and there's handing you random pieces and you're putting them in all different random spots, and then it's like, okay, now you got to figure out where to put them. Whereas like, okay, if someone handed you a piece, okay, this is the corner piece, this is the next one, this is the one next to it. You can start to build it up way easier than if someone just hands you a bunch of random pieces. It's like, yeah, eventually maybe you'll figure some of it out, but it's going to be way harder to piece it all together than if you have, the pieces, in order,
right.
which is like how I think of it when you're learning, like he said, like a sequence or a
chain.
Yeah, like a chain, or I can't think of the word, like a concept.
Yeah.
Like I even like talk about that a lot, like in like the basics classes, like thinking of things as like as a concept, you know what I mean? Like guard retention or like we were talking about before, like the guard, it's like a short range, mid range, long range. Like you got to think of that concept. It's not just okay, half guard, deli hiva, collar and sleeve. Like
right.
those are guards, but you need to understand the concept. You know what I mean?
And like when to play them.
Yeah, and I was talking about this the other day. Danny asked me to teach some wrestling in one of the classes, and he just wanted me to go over like the basics of like the stance and like basic things on your feet, just like that people should know. And like I was explaining that as a concept too. Like you know, like it's not always about learning how to like attack someone's legs or like I'm gonna shoot a single leg, I'm gonna shoot a double leg. It's like no, just understand the concept that you need to be in a good stance. You need to have defense, and you need to be ready to attack at all times. Like if you can understand that, then you can start learning the moves. But until you understand that, it's like it's a waste for me to show you a single leg if you don't understand the concept of being in a good stance.
Right.
You understand that you need to defend your legs at all times. You need to also be ready to attack.
Yep.
It's like once you learn that, the moves become way easier.
Yeah.
Because you have those basics down. You have that fundamental like
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's big. It's big.
It's like one thing that I'm always a big fan of is systems create success, right? When you have a system, it's like you're gonna be successful.
I like that.
It's like if you go to any McDonald's in the country, it's all the same. You go in, you order, they fucking do their shit, and then you get your food.
They probably have a system of putting the food together in the back. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you worked at this McDonald's, you could transfer to fucking California and still work because it's the same exact thing.
And that's the success from the Death Squad.
Right.
They have a system, and everyone does the same system, and that's what. Yeah. All right. I know that was sad. You guys hear what happened to them?
No, I didn't really hear the details.
Me neither.
Like,
I'm curious.
I think it'll come out of it.
They said it said kind of like
something about
egos and individual brands. People were concerned, but it still said that. I thought that would mean it was Gordon, but Gordon is still sticking. Like I think him and Gary Tonin are still sticking.
Him, Gary Tonin, and Danaher look like they're together. And
but then it looks like Craig Jones is with Nikki. You would think Nikki and Gordon would be together. That was confused. Like the B squad's still sticking together.
I don't think it's anything too serious because it's like if it was like something serious, I'm sure his brother would have like went with him. You know what I mean? Like, so I think maybe it was just like they didn't agree on some stuff.
Yeah.
And they just
or maybe they're thinking about splitting up so that they could touch more people with this style and this structure that they put together.
I'm sure it also like had something to do with like
where they're living.
Yeah, where they're living. Because I know like Gordon like has been saying that he wanted to move to Texas for a while, and like I don't know if like John was like a fan of Puerto Rico and stuff, but
he liked New York.
He loves New York.
Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah. Did you listen to him on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, and I remember him saying that he loves New York.
Yeah, he said he loved it there. He's like, nobody else did. He's like, but I was the only one.
In New York?
Yeah.
Well, I think he had been there for so long, too. I'm sure he just didn't want to leave. But
yeah, that's true. You get comfortable.
Yeah, who knows? It'll be cool, though, to see, like you're saying, like them, like, go, like, diverge and then, like, start their own things. Because now there'll be even more. Like, it'll spread, I think.
Yeah, like, I wonder, because, I mean, like, John Danaher's a smart motherfucker, and it's like, maybe this was part of a plan where it's like, all right, we're going to split. You guys take this knowledge, you go here, we're going there, and we're gonna really change the game.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Like doing it like on purpose almost.
Yeah, something like that, because like you said, there doesn't seem like there's bad blood.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. The way they're posting stuff is like, they all are like known for always like joking and stuff on social media, but they don't seem like like the way they're posting, they're like calling themselves, oh, we're the B team, and then it's like, it just seems like too friendly. So
Right.
I could see, like, honestly, like what you're saying, if it was like a plan, like, oh, okay, we're gonna like split up, and you know, I don't think that they probably won't say it, but maybe that was like an agreement they had or something.
Yeah, because I mean, they're definitely going to show the stuff that they learned together.
Yeah.
Sure,
Do you know?
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see where it goes because the evolution of the game and everything is crazy, and like they were big contributors to that. So
For sure.
if they could touch more people where they are, it's going to be crazy to see how this stuff goes.
Do you think gi is gonna keep up with the no gi? Or
I don't know. Not that it's less entertaining, but I think that people could relate to no-gi more because
of MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always said it though. I give a lot of people respect doing the no-gi, but me personally, I give people a little bit more respect when they're good at the gi. You know, because I feel like there's so much more involved. There's so many more tricks and tools to use and stuff. You know, like Nicky Rod, for example. I mean, he came in as like a white belt to blue belt. And he was destroying high-level guys just based on athleticism and a small understanding of jiu-jitsu.
I was just reading about that, though. I thought that was incredible. He competed in, like, ADCC in, like, his first year.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
The only thing I think about
well,
that,
it's
though,
super
is, like,
heavyweight, and, I mean, look at the, what was that?
What are you saying, like the classic competition wasn't?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like there's no one, obviously there's amazing guys, but it's like, I don't think you would ever see that in like a lighter weight. Like it's just so much it's so much like the level's a lot higher. Like technically, the thing is like you can, if you're big and athletic and you have good wrestling and you learn, like he was training with the best guys in the world. Like, you know, so like when we say, oh, he's only training for a year, he was only training for 6 months. Yeah, he's training 3 times a day probably for a year or
with
6 months with Gordon Ryan, with the best coach in the world. So it's like, you know, realistically, like his jiu-jitsu is
3 years.
probably pretty good. You know what I mean? And now you got to add in the fact that he's just a physical specimen, and he can wrestle really well. Yeah, which helps in the ADCC rule set.
Where did he go to school? Rutgers?
No,
Rutgers
I think
College?
he wrestled like D2 or D3.
D3.
Oh, okay.
But you know, you watch a lot of the matches with like those guys. Like, it's not a lot of jiu-jitsu happening. You know, it's a lot of like takedowns, like explosive movements, and it's like when it comes down to that, it's like if you're able to just kind of take the jiu-jitsu out of it, like, and just stay out of bad situations, like it's gonna come down to takedowns and like, you know, who's got better cardio,
physicality,
you know, and physicality. Like,
so
you watch him fight Muhammad Ali, I don't even think they would like hit the mat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was just like them throwing each other around.
Yeah.
You know, he fought Cyborg, and when it got to the mat, I'm pretty sure he kind of just like disengaged most of the match. You know what I mean? Like he tried explosive passes, and dude, but at that point they're sweating so much. You know how hard it is to hold on to somebody and like really control them and really like force them to play jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like it's really tough to do. You know?
So what do you think if like Gregor Gillespie walked into like the ADCC? You think that it would be a different story for him?
Different,
really?
way different. Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good. I never even thought about that. That's a good point, though.
I mean, and you see it even in like wrestling, like that was always a thing. Like the higher you get in the weights, the more the competition thins out.
Right.
You know, like
how is Gregor's jits?
I mean, it's gotten better. I don't know personally, but I mean, a lot of his fights, he finished guys with subs.
No, I know.
Head and arm choke and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I just think like at the lighter weights, it's different, man. Like these guys
are doing jiu-jitsu.
Their jiu-jitsu's at a different level.
Right.
Like technically, you know.
Well,
that's why that's another reason why I always tell people why I think Gordon Ryan is so good, because if you go back like a couple of years ago, he was like 170 pounds.
I know,
he
so
came up as a
small.
lighter guy, so his technique was so good.
They always
And
say
then
that though, like you want to learn technique, grab the smallest guy in the gym, right? They always say
and
that.
And then it's like as he got bigger, like you don't lose that technique,
right?
You know what I mean? So he still has all that like incredible technique, and now he's got the size and the power. So it's like, I think that's like a big part of why he's so good.
Successful.
You know, like
that's a good point too.
You see that a lot of times. Like a lot of the times when you see like a guy like that who is really light and they put on a lot of weight, and you know they were good when they were lighter, and then they put on all like if you know good weight at least, like they get bigger. They tend to do really well because they're so much more technical than everyone in that weight class. You know?
Because when you got the weight and you're learning jits, you tend to use your strength.
Yeah.
You know,
not your technique,
and it's like not even like a conscious thing. Like
no,
it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna smash these people, but it's like you have it, so you like unconsciously rely on it.
Yeah,
like you don't even realize sometimes. Like, but
and it usually hurts the practitioner.
Sure,
with their development.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
What about Mikey Musumeci? Dude,
Stud.
killing it.
He
He's
is.
amazing.
Didn't
Yeah.
he just start like defining his leg game?
No, the
Yeah.
no. He just moved into no gi.
Yeah, but like as far as like leg locks and
Yeah,
stuff,
he's
he
been
just
training with Jason.
he has.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he just started though. It's not really been his game. I feel
No,
like.
he just
No,
started
because you
within the last
can't.
couple months.
Can't in gi and no,
Right.
and IBJJF.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he always had very good foot locks, like straight ankle locks and stuff like that. But it's totally different than like
Yeah.
heel hooks. And
I
stuff.
like him a lot. I don't know how I felt about him venting after the Geo.
He
Yeah, he
apologized
He did.
after that. He
He
said
did.
like like emotions were high.
Right.
After, like, the
I just
match or
think he's
whatever.
like not the type of guy that's ever in like any like verbal conflicts like
Yeah.
that. So I think when it happened, he kind of just like got flustered
Exploded.
and like
Yeah.
kinda, like so like
He's, like,
I
a
understand.
very nice
Yeah, he's like the
individual.
He is.
nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
like, and he's just like very like like dorky. Like
Yeah, he is very
he's not the
very
type of guy to like ever start anything like that. So I think that's probably like the first person who's ever like
Had like a altercation with in some sense.
And super
And
respectful
you
and
also gotta
stuff.
think these guys get off the mat and they're like, okay, they shove a microphone
Right
in their
away.
face, and it's like, man, like you can't even breathe. Like
Yeah.
you're thinking a million things. You're
I
excited.
never understood that. Even like in college wrestling, they just win the fucking NCAA title, and they're like, "All right, so what do you think?" It's like,
I guess
dude,
so. It's like organic.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
they
the
want that, like,
interview.
raw emotion.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
there's no
So it's
time
like,
for you to
give that
settle.
guy- give him a second to
Yeah,
breathe.
yeah.
yeah.
The guy's
That's
like,
it's like the
I just want to
Exactly.
thank my family. Like, it's like Jesus.
Guy
Christ.
could barely talk because he's so out of breath.
yeah. It's like those are the worst interviews because it's like half of that is just him
Yeah.
trying to catch his breath. You
Yeah.
know?
I do respect Rogan though. He said a while ago, I think it was when DC got knocked out, that he'll never interview somebody after a knockout.
yeah.
That I'm cool with.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. I don't think they should.
I don't think they should. Yeah,
No,
definitely
yeah,
not.
I'm cool with that.
I
But
mean,
like,
maybe if it was a ref stoppage,
yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
we're talking
like-
about like a clean knockout
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
you're-
knocked
you're-
out, like
Like
sleeping.
someone, yeah, someone hit the snooze
Literally,
button.
your head is just not right.
No,
You know,
those
like,
eggs
you
are
can't-
scrambled.
Yeah, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Yeah, that's an
No,
omelet.
but yeah, no, but I'm excited to see like Mikey continue to do no gi.
Do you think any other like really good gi competitors are gonna make a switch?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we said this before too. I think it's an easier transition going from gi to no gi. I think the other way around, going no gi to gi, it's a little bit more of a
You have,
hurdle.
Really?
you have a
think
lot
so?
more to learn.
I don't know, man.
No,
There's a lot more things that you can
Oh.
get. I mean, I feel like it's easier to weasel your way out of things in no gi. That
what's your
I just
stance?
think that I don't know. I don't know if I disagree, but I feel like learning
It's
that.
okay to disagree.
No, I know. I like literally am not sure. 'Cause now I'm
Respectfully.
thinking about it, and it's just like.
So here's like my perspective. I think
Okay.
going from no gi to gi, it's going to be a little more difficult. Not saying that you're going to completely lose everything, but the bag of tricks and the tools that you now have are much more than in the no gi. So on the flip side, if you're coming in no gi and you're putting the gi on, you might overlook a grip. You might overlook a position because you don't see the threat there. And I'm talking about somebody who doesn't train in the gi, you know? And then vice versa. If you're going from the gi to the no gi, it's like all of your regular foundation, your framing, your knowledge of like submissions, I feel like you can translate easier into the no gi.
but there's that whole leg lock game that isn't available in the
Yeah,
gi.
that aside though. That aside. But yeah, that's my outtake on it. I mean, like the leg lock game, I feel like anybody, you would get smoked if you weren't training that.
No,
you know?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think the leg locks are like the biggest thing, like going from like gi to no gi that like people need to learn. It also depends on the level and like what the person's style is, because like, for example, like when we went to no gi Pan Ams, it was like one of the first tournaments where they allowed heel hooks and stuff in no gi, and I was watching like some of the guys who are like known as like the best guys in the IBJJF that like win all the tournaments and stuff like this. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to be interested to see how they deal with like the leg locks. And I remember like watching like Mateus Gabriel, who's like world champion in the gi, like wins all the IBJJF tournaments, black belt, world champion. And he fought like some guys who like I was watching throughout the tournament who had good leg locks. I'm like, oh man, it's going to be really interesting. And it's like he was able just to adapt to the situations. And I think it's like when you're at that high level, like, and your understanding is that good, like, you're able to, like, kind of figure those situations out. Like, even if you don't have the highest, like, knowledge in the leg locks, like, you can still, like, I'm sure he trains leg locks. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he definitely definitely didn't have as much training as the guys who specialize in that. And he was still able to, like, defend them and beat them. So it's like a guy like that who's, like, world class, like, world champion. It's like, he'll probably have a pretty easy transition learning that stuff.
We're saying from gi to no gi here.
From
gi
exactly,
to no gi, yeah.
So then, but it's like, man, then you take like an average person who's never learned leg locks, and then you try and make them understand them. It's going to be tough. But I think it's vice versa too. So it's like, if you take the best no gi guys and you put them in the gi, it's like, okay, most of the positions are very similar. You're just adding the grips.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if they can start understanding that, which like if they're a high level, they probably will be able to pick that up pretty fast.
Yeah, so we'll just say like situational. We'll just say like you take a high level guy in the no gi and you throw him in the gi right away. No training involved.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking like off the mat, boom, gi on, go with another high level competitor. You think it'll be easier? Or you think it's going to be a fair transition either way you look at it? So, like, you take a guy in the gi, you take off the gi, and you go no gi and vice versa. You think it's going to be like a very similar transition? Like, they're going to have equal difficulty? Or do you think one's going to outweigh the other?
I think gi to no gi
Gi to no gi is what?
is gi to no gi
Will be a little easier?
Yeah. Because of all the grips and stuff, like you said, like you have so much more options that you might not even know about.
Yeah. This is like the question that's like always being asked. Like,
I think like gi to no gi, I don't know. It's tough because I think like what you're saying, if you took that situation where you had a four high level guys and one of them went from gi to no gi, one went from no gi to gi, it's like, okay, the gi guy or the no gi guy start going to gi, he might get swept, he might get mounted, like But I think, like, fundamentally, he'll still be able to defend submissions.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think if you take a gi guy and put him in no gi, he's going to get submitted pretty fast with leg locks.
Okay.
Just because the leg attacks are submissions. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I agree with you on
like
that.
You're saying, like, with the grips and stuff, like, a lot of these grips are leading to sweeps and stuff. And, like, besides, like, obviously collar chokes and stuff like that. But, like, if you're high enough level, like, you probably have a decent understanding of, like, okay, don't let this guy attack my collars.
Yeah.
But it's, like, the no-gi, like, leg locks, man. It's, like, you've seen, like, look back at ADCC when Craig Jones like destroys Leandro Lowe's knee. No one even knew who Craig Jones was at the time, and Leandro Lowe's like one of the best ever in the game.
So we're gonna say that the leg lock game alone is gonna be the deciding factor.
I think it's more dangerous. I just think it's more like submission wise, it's more dangerous for like a gi guy to come into no gi. But I overall adjustment, I can understand like. Figuring out the grips is a lot too.
Yeah, because I was thinking like worm guard. I'm thinking about collar and sleeve, like these things like these guys
that
never seen,
applied
right?
To the no-gi,
Or even like simple grips, like I mean like simple. I know like a high level guy, but like even like I don't know, like Ezekiel choke or something. You grab somebody who's never even seen that coming.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I think both ways it's hard to adjust.
There's gonna be difficulty.
It's actually funny though because you don't see a lot of. This is the one thing I noticed. You see a lot of, especially now, you're seeing more gi guys starting to do no gi or guys who do both. But you never see the no gi guys going to gi.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
Well, I think because they feel so restricted. I feel like that's
But it's just like I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to see, and I think that maybe that's like a indication of like where the future's going. Maybe it's just like a lot of people are going to start doing no gi because I don't see anyone reverting to the gi. You see a lot of people going from gi to no gi or doing both, and but you don't see like mainly no gi guys going into the gi, which is interesting. It's weird.
That is interesting. I guess maybe because they can relate to MMA more, or I don't know. Like I know a lot of guys that like when they start off and it's like they do gi and no gi, it's like maybe they're 2 months into training and it's like, oh, what do you like? It's like, oh, I hate the gi.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well,
why?
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, it's like, why? It's like, because I can't do anything.
Yeah, I always tell people, give it like a month and then you come back to me and tell me you hate the gi. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, once you learn how to use it, it's like, oh my, it goes from like, okay, all these guys are just choking me with my own clothes to like, wow, I have this crazy tool where I can control guys with it. So it's like you just need to know how to use it.
That's why I like the gi a lot. I like all the tools and all the things you can do.
It's a little more intricate for sure. There's a lot more you can do.
Yeah, and I also like the fact too that we live in New York. So 9 months out of the year, we have jackets on, fleeces on, flannels on, jeans on,
sweatshirts.
Yeah, Carhartt jacket. It's like, dude, that's a gi that just looks nice.
All attackable items.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All tools.
Yeah. For sure. Yo, what do you think? I saw this probably like a couple of months ago. I saw a video of Keenan Cornelius talking about how he thinks that guys who fight in the gi shouldn't, like who primarily fight in the gi, shouldn't accept like super fights, like no-gi super fights with guys who only train no-gi. Because he's saying it's not fair that gi guys are always going over to fight no-gi guys in no-gi, but the no-gi guys will never fight gi guys in the gi. And he's saying that, like, he thinks that, like, the gi guys should stop accepting these super fights. And I was like, he has a point.
He
like,
does.
But I don't know, man. It's just like...
It's like going back to what we said, though, you know? I mean, unless these gi guys
where
are...
it's going.
Unless these gi guys are doing what you said, where they're training in both.
Yeah.
But if you get somebody who just strictly trains in the gi and goes, yeah, I'll take this super fight, I mean...
Yeah, I see what he's saying, and I think I just don't think that'll ever happen because I think the no-gi organizations are paying their athletes.
The money's there.
And that's why their people are doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do like see what he's saying. It's kind of like unfair in a way. It's like you're like, you know, we all train pretty much both. And it's like when you go to compete against a guy from 10th Planet or somewhere who only trains no-gi, he's got twice the amount of training that you do in that area. And it's like, man, like you think about it, it's like, fuck, what if I had all that time? You know, what if I only trained no-gi? 100%. Like, how much better would I have been? You know what I mean?
I always compare gi and no-gi like baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Like they're both super similar. Yeah. They're both super related, but there's little details that make it difficult that you have to adjust to. So,
and I think now it's getting even further apart. I think.
Oh yeah, especially with this leg lock thing.
I'd love to see Gordon do a super fight in the gi.
Well, he even said too that if he put the gi on, that he would be able to do well, but he
wouldn't be the best.
He wouldn't be the best.
100%. No,
I would just love.
He said he's like he could get loose to like blue belts. Yeah, like competition blue belts, like world class blue belts.
I don't think so.
That's what he said.
I think he was just being humble.
Especially his weight, no way. If it was his weight class, like there's really no. I mean, there's some guys, but like.
Not blue belts.
Yeah, not blue belts.
No.
He seems like he's really loving like coaching too.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I like Gordon Ryan. I think he's a good dude.
That's sad because he's so young and like his stomach's all fucked up and they can't get to the bottom of it. And you know he's got like top medical experts like working on it. He goes all over the world and like they can't figure out what the fuck's wrong with him.
He did make a lot of progress though since he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast because a couple people have reached out to him.
And told him what was up.
And have been trying to help him. With his, microbiome and all that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know, because he was like so heavy, and then that one fight, who did he fight?
That was Roberto.
That older
Roberto.
dude. Yeah, dude. Like he came in looking like Gordon Ryan back in the day.
Like
he was
200 pounds.
He fought who?
Roberto Jimenez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where he put in the envelope the triangle, and he was working the guy for the whole match, and then he finished him.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild when he was doing that shit.
Yeah,
like, he would have a sealed envelope.
But if you see what he looks like, though, it was crazy. Like he looked like Gordon Ryan back in the day when he was like younger,
and now he's back,
and then he's blown up again, dude.
Yeah, natural.
It's
amazing.
It is. It's so stupid. All right, boys, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Connor, you want to plug in Transcend one more time?
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at TranscendBJJ. Check out our website at TranscendBJJ. We have everything linked in our bio. So
yeah, if you need a fire fade.
Yeah. If you need a haircut. At Connor the Barber on Instagram.
Go take one of his classes at Breathe.
Yes. Yeah. Connor's a great coach. All right. Thanks for listening. Catch us on Spotify or the platforms. Hit us up in the DM if you want some merch.
Send us a question of the day.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. All right. Peace.
Toodles.
Ta-ta.